Welcome back to the channel. Today we will travel through the pages of What If Naruto Had Storm Release Part 2. The link to the story will be in the description below. Now let's start. Hideout. 9 figures can be seen standing on what seemed like fingers off a giant's hand. Their forms were blurry and seemed to be made out of a static rainbow. The eyes were the only clear thing that was able to be seen from each member. Standing on a platform looking over all of them was a man with purple ringed eyes. Gazing over them as if he was above them. Though in a way, you could say he was. He is God after all. Are you saying that the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki managed to drive off you and kiss him by himself? The man with the strange eyes asked, not showing if he was angry or not. Yes, Pain-sama. Itachi said, looking up at the figure. Itachi had managed to block the attack with one of his more costly moves. He used his Susanoo's Yodamiri. It is capable of blocking everything, but it costs him heavy damage to his eyes. He was not going all out when we were fighting, but he still managed to defeat me. Although I wasn't going all out, plus we underestimated him. He put extra emphasis on the we part because that little brat did a lot of damage to both of them. Wow. I think the walking fish stick and his fishermen got their asses kicked by a 13-year-old. Ahaha, the outburst came from the one with black eyes and a side. Do we need to go and get him? He spoke mockingly to the two. Shut up, Hayden, you know he isn't our target. The harsh reply came from his teammate. Shut your fucking mouth, you money-hungry jackass. Man, one day I am going to kill you, Kakuzu. Please. The short reply only seemed to make his partner even angrier. Everyone else just watched, annoyed at Hayden's actions. He was not well liked by everyone else in the organization. I hope someone kills this guy already. The hunched-over figure spoke to his partner with blue eyes. I know, Sasori, my man, his art is really horrible. Silence. Pain spoke in a calm but commanding tone that snapped Hayden to attention right away. Itachi, kiss him, can you tell us any information on the Jinchuriki? Yay, he is extremely dangerous with a blade. Jinjutsu doesn't seem to work on him, or at least a lower tier one I tried to place him under. He is extremely proficient in his bloodline, along with complete mastery over wind and water elements. I will assume from the major lighting attack he is also well adapted in his lighting element. He also has what seems to be mastery over the Nine-Tails chakra. Itachi spoke while recalling all of the things he witnessed Naruto show during the fight. I see. That is bad news. Pain said, narrowing his eyes in slight anger at the boy becoming too strong. You will go after him one more time and go all out without killing him to try and draw out more of his skills. This gained a nod from the two members. Roger, Pain-sama. I will be sure to cut his legs off this time. The two then disappeared. Everyone else is dismissed. Pain motioned for everyone else to leave. Leaving only him, Conan and the masked man. Was that wise, Pain? If he did that much to them while holding back, I wonder what he will do when he isn't holding back. The masked man said in a deep voice. We simply just want to see his skill. The world isn't ready for Akatsuki. Pain was unbothered by his decision and felt he did the right thing. You say that, but if we lose one of them, it is in your hands. The masked man said, giving him a glare enhanced by his spinning red eye. Who are you gazing at with that eye? You forget who has the eyes of God. Pain gave the man a glare of his own, making the man release some of his kai. You forget whose eyes those are. Have you forgotten why I have these eyes? It is because you are not strong enough to wield them. Pain said, releasing some of his own kai. At this point Conan was finding it hard to breathe and decided it would be better for her health if she left. Watch yourself, brat, I can easily get rid of you. The man spoke and got to his feet. Pain simply turned his back to the man and vanished from the transmission. A plant-like thing that was black and white chose this time to rise from the ground. He is getting too hard to control, something needs to be done. The black side spoke in an evil tone. That sounds really bad considering I am black. He won't do anything. He knows I can still beat him. The masked man said and started to leave in a vortex-like hole. When Pain opened his eyes again, it was to the view of a village covered in rain and covered storm clouds. His purple eyes looked over everything until someone spoke up behind him. I don't trust him, Nag. It is Pain. He cuts her off sharply. I don't trust him, Nagato, we need to do something about him. She spoke unbothered by his sharp tone he took with her. I know, but he is still useful to our goal. Once we have it, we can get rid of him and live out our friend's dream at last. Pain said, opening his arms to the village like he was showing a grand reveal. Conan smiled at remembering how her friend would do the same thing when he talked about his dream. For a second she saw the body of her friend, but without the metal rods, and a smile was on his face, instead of the emotionless face he has now. Yes, but do you think we are going at this the way he would want? She puts her head down, and doubt slowly creeps up in her heart, along with the guilt of all the things they have done and plan to do. Pain looks at her, making her shift uncomfortably with his gaze on her. You are not losing faith in me now after all this time? Conan couldn't believe he could ask her something like that after all they have been through. How can you say that? After all we have done, it was always me by your side. Conan said, raising her voice at the body of her friend. He stayed quiet for a while looking at the angry women in front of him. He pictured her as a little girl when she would have the same glare towards him and his friend. She was right, she was always by his side no matter what he did or said. Maybe he took her for granted. No. He wouldn't, he couldn't. Don't question or have doubts in your God. Payne said, turning around, removing his gaze from hers. You're my friend, not my God. Conan spoke in a calm tone, not matching the gaze she was sending his back. She then turned around and left the room, leaving the body of her friend to himself. Hansaku town. Waiting by the castle was an angry Orochimaru who had several tick marks on his forehead while his butt buddy was watching his master nervously. Damn it, where is that damn big-breasted blonde? Orochimaru spoke, losing his temper at waiting for too long on his former teammate. Kabuto wanted to speak, but he was afraid of being under the punishment of his master. I swear when I see her next time. He is stopped when a piece of paper falls down in front of his face. Kabuto grabbed it because of his master's arms and opened the note only to gain a tick mark at what he saw. What is it, Kabuto? Did Tsunade send a message saying she will be late? He walked up to him and read the message, but he also gained a tick mark. In the paper was a drawing of a penis. Along the bottom was a little message for them both. The snake pedo and his butt buddy. I, Naruto Uzumaki, have kidnapped Tsunade Senju and will be taking her back to the Leaf Village, so if you got a problem with that. I don't give a damn. Oh, and tell Kabuto when I see him I am going to kill him. That bastard was peeking on Anko in the hot springs. Your pal Naruto. P.S. This will blow up in 5 seconds. That brat. When I get my hands on him he will wish he was dead, and what were you doing peeking on girls? Orochimaru turned to glare at the glasses-wearing boy who started to sweat nervously. Well, I wasn't trying to see how her curse mark was removed. Kabuto spoke, trying to come up with an answer that will calm his angry master. Liar. Just for that I won't stop tonight even if someone comes in and spots us. Orochimaru spoke with an evil grin directed towards his favorite plug. Kabuto then tried to run away and hopefully barricade himself in a shelter to avoid punishment. He knew if he was caught no amount of healing would help him walk away from this one. Orochimaru only grinned more. Oh, I love when they run Kukuku, I will catch you. He then chased after Kabuto with a gleam in his eyes that spelled danger. Naruto. The group had left early in the morning to make their way back to the village using Naruto and his summons to fly to the village, to the amazement of Tsunade and Shizune. Naruto was on a bird with Shizune holding onto him from the back, not wanting to fly off. You know, Shizune-chan, you don't have to hold me so tight, we aren't flying that fast. Indeed they weren't. They were going just fast enough to feel the breeze of the wind blowing hair and clothes. Brat, switch with me, I don't want to be with this pervert. Tsunade spoke, pushing Jiraiya away who was trying to get a feel for his research. Nah, I like the company of Shizune-chan. Naruto says, bringing Shizune into his arms, making the girl blush heavily. She took the chance to get a feel of Naruto's body and a close look at his whiskered face. Hey, let's make a bet, brat. Tsunade said with a grin at an idea she just had. Oh yeah, old lady, what is it? Naruto smirked at making Tsunade angry with his taunts. They have been at each other like mother and son, often making people think they were mom and son when they were next to each other. I bet you can't do your dad's jutsu. She crossed her arms knowing she had an easy win in her record. Oh yay, what are the rewards for this bet? Well, if I win you have to give me all your money and buy me a year's supply of sake. Tsunade grinned at her terms. She was put on guard when Naruto only grinned back at her. Okay, and if I win Shizune has to be my slave and you give me your necklace. This made Shizune and Hinata gasp and blush while Jiraiya writes in his notebook like a man possessed. Tsunade Samadi, don't take that bet. Shizune shouted over the wind with her face red like a tomato. A part of her wanted nothing more than to wear a maid outfit and submit to anything Naruto-sama ordered her to do. You got yourself a deal. Naruto then chuckled and it turned into a laugh, and despite herself Hinata couldn't help but laugh next to him. I see why they call you the legendary sucker now. Naruto then proceeded to make a Rasengan in his hand, he then coated his hand in Kasumi's chakra and formed the Rasengan into a wind shuriken. The jutsu made a loud screeching sound before Naruto threw it off the bird, and the jutsu blew up into millions of tiny wind blades and caused an explosion so big it parted the clouds. Now Shizune-chan, when we get back I will show you where you will be staying and introduce you to the family. He patted her head. Hinata-chan, would you also like to train with us? Haku-chan likes to go on and on about how good you are at medicine. Hinata blushed. Of course Naruto-kun, I would love to train with you, and I also enjoy making medicine with Haku-chan. She flashed him a warm smile that melted the hearts of men, causing Naruto to pull her to him. "Oh Hinata-chan, you are just so cute." He started to kiss her all over, making her giggle at the affection. "I will be taking that necklace, you blonde bimbo," Naruto said with a smirk aimed towards Tsunade, who gained a tick mark. Say that to my face, you fish cake," she said, getting up on the bird and waving her fist at him. Naruto jumped to her bird and they butted heads, glaring at each other. They then laughed it off, followed by everyone else. "Okay Naruto, I will trust in you and this necklace." She took it off and placed it around his neck, leaving it hanging right below his neck. She then gave a motherly kiss to his forehead and smiled warmly at him. "Do me proud, Naruto." He could only rub the back of his head and give her a smile back. "You know I will, or my name isn't Naruto Uzumaki." He pointed a finger to his chest in all his pride, making the others smile at him. XXX. Rukia is walking out of school with her friends Kanemaru and his group along with Hanabi. Naruto had forced the young girl to play with them and she tried to fight back, but it didn't work. Rukia was introduced to the group when Naruto had enrolled her into the academy. Naruto walked her to school and Kono just had to come up and introduce himself. She was a little shy at first, but then warmed up once she was attending for a few months. "Man, class was so boring today." Kanemaru droned out at having to sit through Ruka's boring class. "I actually liked the lesson in math today, I found it really helpful," Yuden said, pushing up his glasses. "Yes, it will make our homework that much easier. Maybe if you paid attention and didn't fall asleep, you wouldn't always have to try and copy my homework," Rukia stated, poking him in the shoulder. "Hey Kono, are you not getting enough sleep at night?" Mogi asked with concern for her friend. "Hey, lay off me, it's just that his class is so boring. Maybe if big brother Naruto taught the class it would be better," Kanemaru said and got stars in his eyes at the idea. Rukia did not think the same way he did. She knew if her dad was a teacher the class would involve a lot of explosions and property damage. "That unruly man will do no such thing. I would rather die than have him teach me." It was clear to everyone that she did not like Naruto for how he treated her. "Please, you are just saying that because he doesn't treat you like a princess," Rukia said with a smirk to her female friend. Well, he should. I am a Hyuga after all." Hanabi spoke, blushing with anger at how that man had put her over his shoulder and walked around the village like she was some prize to be won in a game. My dad is awesome, you're just jealous." "I'm not." "R2. "I'm not." "R2. "Can you two just give it a rest already, Jez?" Konohamaru rubbed his forehead in exaggeration. "Can we just all agree big brother Naruto is awesome?" Mogi said with a blush on her face. "Agreed." The kids say, except for Hanbi, who huffs and turns her head. They then look up and can see 3 thunderbirds in the sky and Rukia knows who it is right away. She yells to the sky and waves her hands to the sky. Up on the bird, Naruto looks over to see his daughter screaming for him. "There's my girl," Naruto says, and everyone looks and sees the black-haired girl with bright purple eyes. "Is that your daughter?" Tsunade asked. "Yep, and looks like I have to pick her up from school." "Oh, is that little firecracker? Come on Hinata-chan, your sister is down there as well." He jumps off the bird with Hinata in his arms, who is screaming at their fall, but Naruto is only laughing. Right when they are about to crash to the ground, he uses his wind chakra to catch them in a small tornado that catches them. "Papa!" Rukia shouts and runs to Naruto, who catches her and spins her around, making the girl giggle. "How are you doing, honey? Did you have a good day?" He put her on his muscled shoulders. "It was okay, it was boring as usual. But it's better now you are back and we can train." Rukia beams with a smile aimed at her dad. "You bet we can. Just make sure that stupid sword keeps her comments to herself." As if it heard what he said, the sword seemed to bump his head like it hit him, causing him to glare at the blade, and the sword seemed to hum with laughter. "Papa," she says, "don't call her a stupid sword or else." "Or else what? Is she going to come out the sword and say it to my face?" She says, "Yes, once I unlock her Shikai and am able to wield more of my own power. Pa, that will give me the chance to beat her ass." Rukia hits him for his bad language. She says, "You are thousands of years too young to be a match for her." Rukia says with a little bit of pride in her tone at having such an awesome partner. "Oh, so she is an old lady, well I didn't know that." Naruto laughs and Rukia's sword vibrates angrily. She said, "When she gets out she is going to freeze your balls off and some other things I'd rather not say." Rukia said, blushing at the explicit language. "So Hanabi, how was your day?" Hinata gave her sister a hug that she returned in kind. "Boring. Can you help me with my training today, sister? I am having trouble with my posture." Hanabi gave her sister the best puppy dog eyes she could muster up. "Oh Hanabi-chan, of course I will help you. Would you like Naruto-kun to help as well? He is a good teacher when you get over the pain." Hinata finished casting a gaze towards Naruto, who was talking to Rukia. You get to train with big bro Naruto as well, maybe he can train all of us. Konohamaru said, beaming with excitement. No, that will not be necessary. I can train you myself. An old voice filled with kindness spoke walking up. Gramps. He then jumped into the old man's arms. You really will train me? He said with stars for eyes. Yes I will, is that okay with you? Hiruzen said, ruffling his hair. What about us? Mijay asked with Yuta next to her. I can also train you too if you want. Hiruzen gave them a smirk because he knew what they would all say. Yes. The three kids gave the old man a bear hug. Okage office. Man, this place looks the same as the last time I saw it. Tsunade was looking around to see if she could spot anything different from the last time she was in the room. And you will have to find a new assistant to help you. Shizune said, turning her back on Tsunade. Look Shizune, I am sorry about that. But look at the bright side, at least you can be with someone who will be good to you. Tsunade tried to walk up to her longtime assistant and apologize. It's not about that. It's the fact that you bet on me like I was some object. After all I have done for you, I gave up my life to travel with you, and you did that to me. I didn't deserve that. Shizune gave Tsunade a glare which made her step back at being on the other end of her student's angry gaze. Tsunade put her head down when hearing her words, she was right. Shizune didn't deserve that she was nothing but good to her all of these years when she could have just let her be. It was her who always helped her escape from the enemies no matter what shape or size they came in. You are right, I am sorry, and I hope you can forgive me. Tsunade bowed her head to her longtime student. Shizune was surprised because she knew her master was very prideful and rarely showed respect to anyone. Okay Tsunade-sama, but you owe me. Shizune gave her master a hug that she returned. They broke the hug smiling at each other. Only to hear the claps of Naruto and Jiraiya. Well isn't that just beautiful? It could make a grown man cry. Jiraiya said climbing in the window followed by Naruto who was smiling at both of them. What do you two want? Tsunade said, giving them a glare. I just came to pick up my beautiful helper. Naruto grabbed Shizune and pulled her into his arms and dipped her like they were dancing, making the girl blush. Then Naruto-kun not in front of people. Shizune said, hiding her face in his neck. Ah don't be shy Shizune-chan, I am sure they would like a show. Naruto gave Jiraiya a wink that made the man pull out his notebook, ready to write down what he was going to see. Only for Tsunade to grab Naruto and pull him away and put him in a headlock. You won't be doing anything you brat. Tsunade was squeezing trying to knock him out. Get your manly arms off me hag. He kicked her legs from under her, making her drop to the floor. Naruto then put her in a headlock of his own. Tap out old lady. Never brat. She then got up and back-flopped causing them to fall through the floor and continued their friendly battle. Jiraiya, Shizune and the hidden Anbu only watched in shock as the two kept fighting, but everyone could see they were having fun. I don't know how I should feel knowing that he can wrestle Tsunade like that. He has to have some real strength in order to grapple with her like that. Jiraiya said, looking down the hole. I know what you mean, and they seem to just be playing with each other. Shizune spoke with surprise all over her face and all in her tone. The fight between those two would do heavy damage to the area, especially if he summoned that damn Arashi again. They both shiver at remembering the walking god Naruto can bring out whenever he feels like it. Alright Shizune-chan, are you ready to go? Naruto asked right behind the two, scaring them both. Naruto, how the hell are you not harmed from all of that? Well I just keep healing along with the hag. I swear it would take all day if I wanted to do some real damage to her. Naruto said scowling at that. Yay and this brat with his damn endless stamina will take forever to put down. Tsunade appeared next to Naruto with her own scowl. I find other ways to make use of my stamina, Tsunade-chan. Naruto whispered the last part in her ear making the women blush along with Shizune who caught what he said. Gee get out brat. She punched him out the window and he was laughing all the way. He appeared back in a blue flash and grabbed Shizune by the waist. Alright I will see you when I see you. He left in a blue flash to his compound. So what did he say this time? Jiraiya asked. Tsunade blushed and sputtered. Gee get out pervert. She hit him out the window as well. Now let's get to work. Tsunade sat behind her desk and did just that. 1 month later. Appa, that was the best movie I've ever seen in my life. Can we go see it again? Rukia said, running out of the movie theater. Yes, it was really good. I can buy it for you and we can watch it whenever you want. Naruto and Rukia were enjoying some father and daughter time together. She wanted to see this movie ever since Mogi had told her about it and he must say he really enjoyed her never give up attitude. I mean she was all like, wish and slash and divine attack. Rukia made silly motions trying to mock what she saw Princess Gale doing. It was quite funny to see her making exaggerated moves when she already knew how to beat up ninjas. Appa are you listening? Rukia was poking him in the stomach. Of course I am listening, Rukia-chan. Scratching the back of his head because he really didn't know what she said. Then what did I say? Rukia put her hands on her hips and gave him a glare similar to that of Tsunami. I think they have been hanging out too much. Naruto though looking at his daughter. He looks to the side where he can see a horse. Quickly pulling Rukia out of the street he sees someone riding the horse. Why don't we go and beat up that person? Naruto asked Rukia who grinned at him. You bet. She got on his back and he then flew after the horse. Catching up to the horse surprised the woman who was riding it by a flying boy. He punched the horse in the side knocking it to the ground and picked up the lady by her shirt. What are you doing riding a damn horse in the middle of the street? Naruto and Rukia gave her a glare that made the woman uneasy. Only for Rukia to gasp. Appa, that's the princess from the movie, it's Princess Gale. Faster than Naruto could see, Rukia was helping the lady from his grasp. I am sorry princess, my papa can be so stupid sometimes, but can I have your autograph? Rukia asked, pulling out a picture with her face on it. No, I don't do autographs, and my name is Yuki Fujikaze. The now named Yuki Fujikaze said. Okay but still just a little autograph. I won't tell anyone. Rukia presses on while Naruto watches her with narrowed eyes. No it's pointless, you will only shove it in some corner and forget about it. This makes Naruto angry and Rukia holds her head down and just walks to Naruto. For all it was worth Naruto wanted to run the woman through with his moonlight blade and have Ino burn the body. Nobody will ever find out. Pathetic. Naruto says loud enough for her to hear. He grabs Rukia's hand and they walk off leaving the actress by herself once again. Stupid. She walks away leaving the horse and people to mumble about how she treated Naruto and Rukia-sama. Uzumaki compound. She did what? Taiya shouted. Let me at her, I'll kill her for hurting my little rabbit. Taiya was about to walk out and go do just that. Now Taiya-chan we don't want to start anything do we? I have to leave anyway, Anko-chan says we have a mission to do. Come on shithead take me with you, I don't want to be locked up here anymore. Taiya tried to give him her best puppy dog eyes. Naruto only gave her a kiss, making her blush a bit. You have another month before you are off probation and then we can draft you on my team. Go hang out with the others, I've heard that Tsunami-chan wanted to do something with you. He patted her head. She knocked his hand away and gave him a glare. I told you to stop patting my damn head, I ain't no dog. He only gave her another kiss making her glare go away. Better? He asked with a smirk. No, I think I need another one. He kissed her again and right when they were about to take it further, they got interrupted by a throat clearing. Naruto, I do believe Anko needs you. Karen spoke with hands on her hips. Ah Karen great, I wanted you to come with me on this mission. It will help you with your new partner and serve as more experience. During the month Naruto had to unseal the 4 tails from Rashi and give it to Karen. He still remembers how he felt after it was done. Flashback. You want me to do what? Naruto asked the council members calmly. He heard what they said but just wanted to make sure he wasn't going crazy. We want you to unseal the Biju and place it in a shinobi of the leaf. Hiruzen said also just as calmly, already knowing where this would go. Okay, so which one of you are offering up your child for the process? Naruto looked at the clan heads who all looked away. Even Hiashi who was cruel to his kids wouldn't seal a Biju in them and give them such a life. That's what I thought, if you aren't going to give up your kid then I don't want to hear anything. I will take the Biju and seal it in someone much more qualified. Naruto was about to turn around and walk out the room. Absolutely not, you will seal it in someone we pick and that is final. Danzo said, slamming his cane on the ground to make his point clear. How about we seal it into you? Lock you up, place slave seal on you, beat you until you are almost dead, send you on suicide missions by yourself, and hope to die. Danzo stayed quiet, he knew if they did that he would die no tricks would help him survive that. Right. I will seal it into someone I pick and that is final. He walked out the room with a purpose, already knowing what he was going to do. Making his way to where them was holding Rashi. Hey pal, how do you want to do this? I can take your Biju and leave you alive or take it and kill you in the process. Naruto was blunt with the man because he knew that Rashi was already accepting what was going to happen to him. Rashi stayed quiet for a while, he talked it over with his Biju for a while. When he finally came to a decision he had a faint smile on his face at the turns of events. Just take him and let me die. After those words were said Naruto took him to his house and got Karen who was a little scared but Naruto made sure to tell her it would be okay. After the sealing, Naruto took his body to the Hokage who didn't tell him what he would do with it. He felt a little sad at killing one of his fellow brothers in arms but it also reinforced his plan to go find the others and hunt down those bastards himself. He started to train Karen in using the Biju powers and told her to make friends with the giant ape. The Four Tails was surprisingly cooperative, but he felt Kasumi had something to do with that. He made sure to have Karen train in her own abilities so she wasn't over-dependent on the Four Tails' power. Flashback end. Enko-chan, we are here. Naruto and Karen spoke breaking through the window. Damn it, Brad, I closed the window so you wouldn't do that. Tsunade said, glaring at the smirking blonde. Did you really think closing it would stop me? That old age must be scrambling your brain. Tsunade got a tick mark on her forehead and was cracking her knuckles and glaring at Naruto. Say it again, I dare you. You. Old. Hag. A moment of silence before all hell broke loose. They disappeared in a comical cloud of smoke and began fighting like little kids, which included biting, hitting, and kicking. When they appeared back out, Naruto was standing over a downed Tsunade. Ah, the Uzumaki are on top once again. Naruto laughed until he was kicked right between his legs, making his eyes go wide. Cheap shot. Naruto then fell over, making Tsunade smirk. 100 years too early, brat. Now back to the mission. Everyone's sweat dropped at how she changed the topic like that. Team 11 plus Karen will be escorting Princess Yuki to the land of snow and protecting them for the movie that will be getting filmed. But I have to protect that bitch. Naruto shot right up after remembering how she acted towards Rukia. What is the problem with that? Rukia-chan loves her movies. Anko said, not seeing why he was so mad. Because we ran into her earlier and she was a complete bitch, she blew Rukia off when all she wanted was an autograph and that made her really sad. Naruto clenched his fist at remembering the moment. Sandayu felt like it was his time to finally speak up. Now I am very sorry for her actions, can you please find it in your heart to forgive her? He bowed towards Naruto. What are you, her bodyguard or something? Why yes, and I promise she is not always like that. Okay, whatever, let's just get this mission over with. Right, I have a boat that will leave shortly and take us to our destination. Please follow me and we can head out. Sandayu then turned and walked out, followed by Anko and Karen. Why are you still here, brat? Tsunade gave him a raised eyebrow. Naruto just walked around her desk until he was right next to her. She eyed him with a suspicious gaze all the way. She was ready if he tried anything on her. But he just had that warm smile on his face that made her relaxed a bit. Naruto gave her a little kiss on the cheek and still smiled at her. I will see you when I get back. Mom. He then walked out the office, leaving a shocked Tsunade. He called me Mom. Do I act that way towards him? Well, I have been getting attached to him as well. I guess I do have a motherly bond with him. I will see you when you come back. Son. The group made its way to the boat and were ready to take off when someone said they couldn't find the princess. Then they all had to get off and go look for the runaway, who was found quickly when Naruto had Kasumi sniff her out. When he found her, she was in a bar getting wasted off her ass. What is with me always finding drunk women? Naruto said, annoyed at his luck. Hey princess, get your ass up, it's time to go. Naruto was standing next to her with an annoyed look in his eyes. What do you want, armor boy? Here for another autograph? She was mocking him and his blue armor. He couldn't let that slide. Bitch, please. He hit her in the back of the neck, knocking her out in an instant. He flashed back to the boat, missing the goon who was cursing under his breath. Appearing back on the boat, Naruto handed her over to someone else in order to go by Anko and Karen, who was leaning against the railing. Naru-kun, I wonder how Rukia-chan will react when you tell her about this mission. Anko asked with a delicate finger on her chin and a thoughtful expression. She will most likely take her sword out and try to stab him. Karen giggled a bit at picturing Naruto running from Rukia and her ice powers. Yay. He laughed heartily. And with how strong she is getting, really strong, I will have to kick her training up some more. I know, right? She is getting really good, and not to mention she is studying the spiritual aspects of chakra. She is learning something called Hado now. Karen could agree with that because she was also training with Rukia in her new powers as well. Naruto-kun, we are going to the land of snow, are you sure you only want to wear your armor? Why not something a bit more heavy? Anko asked, poking his armor chest piece. You say that, yet you are only wearing that black and purple trench coat with a tight black undershirt and a black miniskirt. Naruto pointed out, which made her rub the back of her head. You can at least be like Karen, who wanted to be like her awesome big brother and wear some red battle armor. Indeed, Karen had noticed how good his armor was, being able to withstand high rank attacks. He decided to get her some made as well. She had a fur collar unlike he did though. Her fur collar would often catch flames when she used her Biju chakra. Well, I am more of a flexible fighter unlike you. She exaggerated with a wave of her finger. You sure are flexible. He sent her a wink that Karen spotted and blushed while Anko blew a kiss at him that he caught. Brother, you are such a pervert. I know you are not calling anyone a pervert, all these dreams you have about that one Hyuga. Her inner demon barked in laughter at her. Over the month the two have become a bit close. He didn't really want to talk to her at first because he rather liked Rashi and was sad he chose death. Karen and her Stu Burns had managed to worm her way into the heart of the giant ape. He decided to trust her and tell her his name and become friends. She even changed the mindscape for him and opened the key to the seal, so he had free access. "Shut it, Goku," Karen said out loud by accident. "Oh, Goku giving you problems again," Kasumi said from around Naruto's neck. Goku then decided to come from the seal and talk to his sister, or more like try to annoy her. "Shut it, dumb fox, or do I need to tell them what happens when you were drunk and he was cut off when her tails wrapped around his mouth, stopping him from talking. You said you weren't going to bring that back up, you damn ape." Kasumi spoke in the face of her brother, who was shaking a bit. "Alright, sorry," Goku held his hands up. "Right." She then turned and was about to jump back to Naruto when Rashi tried to get the last laugh. He shot a low-powered lava ball at Kasumi, but she smacked it with one of her orange tails. "So it seems you didn't learn your lesson." Kasumi then jumped back on Rashi and started to beat him up, not even stopping when he screamed for mercy. "You know, I still find it weird how they can act so normal." Naruto finished for Anko. "Yes, it's like I see them do all these awesome things and wield power people would kill for, but I often forget even after all that they still feel and need to live a little." Anko smiled at seeing the sibling bonding. "Well, the same can be said for us when you are not summoning snakes or torturing some poor sap. You're just being normal. Or screaming my name." He spoke, rubbing her back. "Yay, you're right. She'll get what I said in 1 2 3. "Hey." Anko shouted with a tick mark and a bit flustered. "I mean, I am not lying. Maybe I should do it again tonight." He pulled her in by the waist. "Yeah, I think you should." They then got into a heated make-out session right in front of Karen, who looked away, and the rest of the ship crew, who were blushing. "Tonight I want that big boy." Anko smirked at the blonde, who was also smirking. "And get it you shall. Can we just get on with the mission?" Karen moved in between them, still blushing. "Naruto, go guard the princess." "Anko just does something that doesn't involve my brother." Karen ushered them away, getting into her own position. She then saw a limping Son Goku coming to her with bruises all on his pale green skin. "Well, it seems she did a number on you." Karen picked him up and placed him on her armored shoulder, letting him rest. "Why, yay, sis was always the mood switcher." He then passed out, causing Karen to giggle even more. Hours later. In the room of Yuki, she was just getting up and had a headache. She looked around her room with a confused look on her face. "I don't remember going to sleep, what the hell happened?" That's when all the things from yesterday came rushing into her mind like a dam of water was just broken. "That damn blonde kid, it was him who brought me here, wasn't it? When I find him." A knock on her door brought her out of her dangerous fantasies. "Princess, are you awake?" The voice of Sandayu came from the other side of the door. "Yes, Sandayu, just come in and tell me what you want." He opened the door and walked in a tray of food. "I have got you some breakfast so you can have a full stomach while you work." He gave her a thumbs up with a smile, making her chuckle lightly. "What are you, my dad?" No, I could never replace such a great man." Sandayu waved his hands and shook his head like his life depended on it. "It was just a joke, relaxed." She laughed at him for a little. "Oh, what is so funny, can I join?" Naruto came walking in the room. "You, come here so I can kill you." She tried to get up, but Sandayu held her in place with all his might. "Okay." Naruto walked over and laid right next to her. "You have a comfortable bed, maybe I should sleep in here for the rest of the trip." Naruto moved the covers out his way and got under the blanket. "As if I'd ever lay next to you." She took the fork and stabbed him, causing Naruto to go up and smoke. Only for another Naruto to walk inside the room again. Now that was not nice at all. He waved a finger like he was talking to a child. "I hate you. It's nice to know you care." Naruto then left the room to tell his team that the princess had finally woke up. Making his way to the top deck, he can see Anko eating dango while Karen was eating BBQ chips. "Well, I see you two are being kept busy." The two girls only gave him a smile, making him sweat drop. "Anyways, the princess is finally up." He sat and laid his head in Anko's lap. "There is a squad of ninja up ahead," Karen said, sealing away her chips for later use. "Only one of them is strong, the others are worthless. I can beat them myself." Karen spoke, getting to her feet and stretching and cracking her bones. "Well, okay, my young Uzumaki, make us proud." Naruto and Anko gave her a matching thumbs up. "Okay, everyone get to a safe place, a battle is about to go down." Anko yelled to all the workers, who quickly made their way to the lower part of the ship. The camera crew stayed out in order to get a good look at the fights. "Here they come." Karen then jumped to the front of the boat to see 3 snow ninjas with armor on top of a one-piece white suit. "Wow, you guys look ugly." Karen laughed in her hand. Out of the way, girly, unless you want to die. The fat one with the robotic arms said. Just shut up and fight me. She disappeared, much to the surprise of the snow ninjas. When she came back into view, it was with a kunai coated in fire chakra that cut right through the robotic arm of the big guy, making him scream out in pain and clutch his steaming wound. Damn girl, kill her. The other two charged towards her with kunai in hand. She ducked under a slash and sidestepped another slash, jumping back for some space as she went through hand signs in the air. Fire-style fire dragon blast. Karen shoots a stream of fire from her mouth that then takes the form of a dragon, making all three of them try to avoid the dragon. Two jump away, but Karen was able to catch the big one with her chain, pulling him back into the fire dragon, burning him alive. The camera crew was turning green but kept watching in order to get this all for the movie. Damn girl, you are dead. The pink-haired woman went through hand signs at blazing speeds. Ice-style ice prison. Pillars of ice begin to shoot up from the ground in order to trap Karen. The redhead was able to jump away from the ice jutsu, but her foot got caught and the rest of her body was quickly frozen. Now to finish you. She went through more hand signs. Ice-style ice dragon. The dragon of ice formed and zoomed towards the frozen Karen with a primal roar and glowing golden eyes. Karen smirked inside the ice pillar and began to channel her chakra before it exploded in a massive pillar of flames, melting all the ice around her. Shocking the ninja that she was able to break out, Karen then jumped on top of the dragon and began to ride its head with fire under her feet. Karen went through more hand signs. Fierce flame fist. Karen then coated her hand in giant flames and cocked it back in order to launch it at the woman whose eyes were wide. It looked like they were going to roll out of her head. Naruto and Anko were watching with impressed faces. Well, it seems that she has gotten really great at using her fire chakra, a little more training, and she will be able to use the lava style. Naruto spoke with pride in his voice at seeing her progress so much. I know, I wonder though, will she get a chakra mode like you have? Anko asked, looking at Naruto with a raised eyebrow. Nah, that is special for only me and Naruto-kun. Kasumi rubbed the side of Naruto's face. Who knows, she might create something of her own. He shrugged his shoulders. But it still won't come close to what I could do. Naruto puffed his chest out in pride. Okay, tough guy, don't go acting like the Uchiha. Anko elbowed him in the side. No, I am only stating facts, it's not arrogance. Well, maybe a little. He turned his head. Only to turn back to the fight when he can hear the screams of the pink-haired girl. Karen had her tied up and was giving her punches with fire-enhanced punches, burning her clothes and skin. She had to jump back when a giant whale made of snow tried to crash on her. We will be back and you're dead when we do. He takes his pink-haired teammate and jumps away to fight another battle. Karen, body flickers back on the boat. Well, look at you kicking ass and taking names. Naruto gave her a high five. Well, what did you expect? When someone trains with you, they are bound to become stronger. Karen crossed her arms and smirked. I might have to start training or you guys will leave me behind. Anko grabbed Karen and gave her a hair pat, messing up all her hair. Is it clear to come out now? I don't hear any explosions or screams of pain. One of the ship members poked his head from the door. Yeah, it's good, come on out you scaredy cats. Anko said to the shaking man. The rest of the time goes by like usual, with the crew filming the scene for the movie and Naruto throwing out comments at the princess just to make her upset, often ending with her throwing a fork at him. Although it was not so simple for the snow ninjas who had to report to their leader. Dodo-sama, we have confirmed that it indeed is Koyuki, but she is being protected by Leaf Ninja. Where is Mizur? Dodo asked. He was killed by the Leaf Girl. He spoke with clear anger in his voice. Natter, calm yourself. Fubuki, what the hell happened to you? Dodo was curious as to who could have done so much damage to his ninja because they weren't weak, well they were weak compared to him. Indeed, who killed Mizur? You are telling me one girl did this to all of you? Dodo couldn't believe what he was hearing come from their mouth. The child did this to an experienced ninja. He had to go and see for himself. Start up the blimp, we are going to wipe them out once and for all. Dodo got up from his fake throne and walked out the room. Back on the island where they were shooting the movie, Anko and her team were in what looked like a conference room talking to Sandayu, who was revealing big news. So she is actually a princess of the land of snow? Karen asked with surprise in her tone. Wow, that lady sure knows how to make things interesting. Anko said. So you have just been using us all this time? A crew member yelled. I am sorry, I just had to do everything in my power in order to get her back here. Princess, you must help your people, please, I beg of you. He was on his hands and knees in front of Koyuki, who was looking at him with a heartless look on her face. Only for it to be wiped away when a water bullet smacks her in the face. Wipe that look off your face. You didn't get the ending you wanted, that doesn't mean give up and leave everything else to burn. Stop acting like a child. Naruto glared at Koyuki, who glared back at him. This isn't like the movies, there are no happy endings. She spoke, putting her head down with sadness dripping off her tone. Of course there is if you are willing to fight for it. Makino, the director, shouted from his seat. Normally we would go back to the leaf and get back up, dude. I think we can handle this with just us. Naruto-kun, can you tell Hokage-sama what is going on? Anko said. Sure thing. Alright, now let's get this movie up and running. Makino yelled and got up from his seat to get the crew ready. Koyuki just watched with a frown on her face. They all traveled the frozen island looking for a spot to film the next part of the movie, while Koyuki just sat in her room looking depressed as ever. She then got an idea in her head. Alright everyone, let's get this show on the road. Makino yelled, coming from his living quarters with a megaphone in hand. Wait, we have got a problem, the princess has run away again. She did what? Alright, the team spread out and find the runaway. Anko gave orders to the two ninjas under her command. Right. Naruto put Kasumi on the ground in order to sniff her out, while Karen just sensed her chakra. They then all left and nodded to her doing their jobs. Koyuki was running through the forest having flashbacks of her previous memories. She didn't want to go back, she didn't want to serve as the ruler for this land or its people. She tripped and fell face first into the ground and just laid there thinking about her life until now. Her dad trying to bring spring and hope into this land, Sandayu trying to bring her back, and Naruto who kept getting on her damn nerves. Oh man, looks like someone is down in the dirt. She is hit with a snowball from none other than the boy who kept getting on her nerves. She growled in anger at him, always finding a way to make her angry. Will you just leave me alone? I don't want to be bothered right now, just let me be. Well, that is too bad, isn't it? Get your ass up and let's go back. He picked her up and placed her on his back. They then went to walk through a cave in order to get back to the safe house. Why do you always come looking for me? She asked softly. Because it is my mission, you stupid princess. She took this chance to get revenge and hit him. In the head. What is your problem? I go out of my way to save you, and this is how I am treated. Naruto was nursing the bump on his head. That will teach you to mess with me. Koyuki smirked only to stop when she heard a strange sound. The hell is that? Naruto asked looking back. It's a train. What the hell are you talking about, a train? They then hear the sound again and can see a giant metal shape with a light on the front rushing towards them at high speeds. Oh, that train. He then took off in a sprint, kicking up a trail of snow. We'll never make it. Please. Naruto then picked up speed and blasted off with Koyuki barely hanging on. He was far ahead of the train, leaving Koyuki wide-eyed at his speed. He then jumped to the side, letting the train pass him and Koyuki. Landing in the soft snow with a big grin on his face, while Koyuki was shaking from almost dying. Ha 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 ha. Man beats metal. Naruto and Kasumi laugh as if they were not about to die. Why are you and your fox laughing? We could have died. You're telling me you don't feel like laughing right now? I swear you need to get laid. Naruto and Kasumi laugh even more. It's been a long time, Koyuki. A voice sounded from the train, making Koyuki's eyes widen. I knew it, it's Dodo. Naruto and Kasumi stop laughing and get up. Moving in front of Koyuki protectively. This made Dodo frown at the obstacle in his way. A bunch of wooden logs seemed to appear out of nowhere and smash right into the side of the train, destroying a section of it. There you have it, men, our beloved Princess Koyuki is here to watch over us. With her at our side, victory is ours. All the men let out a roar of approval and readied their weapons. But the Sandayu. Koyuki couldn't believe what she was seeing. The man who was always in clothes too big for his body was now wearing samurai armor, along with everyone else who was behind him. Hear me, Dodo. We have waited a long time for this day, to see you fall. All the men then charged towards him with weapons drawn ready for combat. HMPH, I thought you destroyed the last of the insurgents. Natter spoke, looking unimpressed at the 50 samurai. With men such as these, there's only one way to lay them down for good. Total annihilation. The train then opens, and a rack of kunai launchers can be seen and begin to shoot at the charging group. No. Naruto's fingers then begin to light up. Uzumaki Crimson Barrier Formation. He then slams his hand down and a barrier shots up just in time in order to block all the kunai. Bam, do it again. Dodo yelled. Naruto blazed through hand signs. Storm release Raging Storm. A condensed storm formed on top of the train and destroyed the whole thing, leaving only the front part able to get away. Damn, he got away. Naruto was about to go after them until Anko dropped in front of him. Thank you, Naruto, we owe our lives to you. Sandayu and everyone bowed to him. Let's just go back. If you stay here, your lives will be in danger. Koyuki then walks away but is stopped by Naruto again. Go back to where? Your home is here. Get your shit together and fix this or I will. Naruto was getting angry by her bitching over and over again. Then you do it. I have had enough of this nonsense. She walked away again only to be pulled back by a chakra chain of Naruto. Leave me alone already. She tries to fight the chain, but it won't budge. Everyone sees a giant blimp rise from the cliff side. From the door Dodo tries to grab Koyuki with a grappler. It is knocked away by a kunai from Anko. Hey, I hope you are getting this on camera, I am about to end this all right here. He unsheathed his sword and got into a stance that Anko recognized. Heaven splitter. Naruto does a vertical cut towards the blimp that slices it in half right down the middle. I am just getting started. He went through more hand signs for his new jutsu. Storm Release Supernova. The attack then begins to form the palm of both his hands and they grow to a massive size, looking like a mini sun in his hands. Die. He launches both attacks towards the two halves of the blimp and they make contact and create a massive explosion that can be seen for miles. The attack blew everyone back from the force and even melted the snow in the area from the heat of the attack. When the attack was finished, Naruto and his team jumped down to see a massive crater where the remains of the blimp was along with the slowly dying Dodo, who was covered in blood, along with his broken armor and ripped clothes. Well Dodo, look at you. Naruto smirked at the dying man. How am my armor B blocks jutsu? He coughed up blood and spit it out. As if that weak shit was only going to block a B rank jutsu, this is real armor. Naruto patted his chest plate listening to the ring of his armor clank. Why did you do all of this in the first place? I hope it wasn't to take over the world or anything. Anko gave him a questioning look. He only stayed quiet. Making Karen, Anko, and Naruto laugh. Oh man, it really was, you are so damn lame. Anko was on the ground rolling laughing, while Karen was leaning on Naruto who was laughing his ass off. Damn Dodo, you really killed your brother over something as stupid as world domination. I can't believe you, just die already, Dodo. Naruto aimed his sword to impale the man. It's Dodo. The man choked up through tears at death, laughing him in the face. Famous last words. With that Naruto stabbed him right in the heart, killing him in seconds. They then picked up his body and showed it to everyone else, even the camera crew who got it on film. Oh my god, this movie is going to be a hit. Makino couldn't be more happy. His movie was going to be at the top of the charts. So princess, is it still hopeless? Naruto was smirking at the wide-eyed woman who couldn't believe what he just did. Now you don't have any good excuse to not be the princess. You're so annoying. She smiled for the first time in a while, giving him a hug and thanking him. She turned toward the samurai who were all crying happy tears. Alright my people, let's get this place back on the map. They all cheer. Princess. I have found where you can place the key. It says here on this map you can put in the hex crystal and it will melt all the snow on the land. A soldier said, handing her a map. So with it everyone went to shoot the movie normally and everyone was much more happy and if possible, Koyuki's acting seemed to be even better if that was possible. Naruto and Anko were off doing something that shall not be spoken while Karen trained in her powers some more. The days had went by until they were done filming and Koyuki had time to go find the generator on the map. When she placed the key in there the snow melted revealing giant mirrors and showed a little Koyuki who said she wanted to be princess and for the first time in years she cried, but they were happy tears. She was so happy she gave Naruto a big kiss, making Anko grin at getting an idea which led to Koyuki and Anko having the best night of their lives. Well this is goodbye, I will see you sometime later down the road. Koyuki said, giving Naruto a tight hug and one last kiss for the road. Stop kissing my man, you had your fun already. Anko grabbed Naruto and put his head between her breasts, making most men pass out from a nosebleed. Don't forget the alliance papers and be sure to remember to train your samurai better. Karen waved the princess goodbye. Now Naruto, can you flash us home? I want to sleep in my bed. Karen whined. Are you sure it's not because you want to see your crush and he is cut off when he has to dodge a flame fist? Just flash us home already. She yelled with a red face matching her hair. Alright damn. He then flashed them all to the office of Tsunade, who jumped along with all of the Anbu who were ready to fight. Damn brat, don't do that, just come through the door will you? She threw a paperweight at him. Oh come on mom, don't be like that, just give me a hug and some welcome back Raymond. Naruto said, smiling and opening his arms for her to give him a hug. She did give him a hug. I was worried when you sent that six-winged bird and told me what was happening, I was going to send a team to back you up. Her grip tightened just a bit, making him smile. Don't worry about it mom, it was easy. Naruto broke the hug, smile still in place. Well good thing you are here, I need to go back up the retrieval team. Sasuke has left the village to go with Orochimaru. Tsunade said seriously. Not it. Karen and Anko said at the same time, leaving Naruto alone with wide eyes. Hey that's not fair. He pointed his finger at the two who were whistling innocently. Wipe that stupid look off your face and come help me. Nope. They left in a body flicker, making him put his head down. Hurry up. I had to send Jen in after what could possibly be Jonin opponents. Fine, but you owe me. He left in a lighting body flicker and was now outside the village once again, but this time he was in KCM, only an orange blur to anyone who might have seen him. Triple X. Naruto was in the forest still in his KCM making amazing time. He could sense the others up ahead and he could feel they were in trouble. He picked up speed and took off in a golden blur. He came upon Choji first and could see he was fighting another fat kid who looked like some damn orc. Choji was about to eat a red pill. I don't know what that pill is, but whatever it is it can't be good if it's red. He pulled out his sword and coated it in wind chakra so he could make a clean cut. Choji was about to put the pill in his mouth when it was snatched from his hand and his opponent suddenly stopped moving. What just happened? Choji was confused. One moment he was about to eat the food pill of his clan to defeat his enemy, next thing he knows the pill was taken right from his hand and Jiroba wasn't moving anymore. That's when Naruto landed in front of him covered in what looked like golden flames. Great work Choji, you held him off and gave me time to finish things. To think I thought you were weak and helpless without Shika. He then disappeared again leaving Choji confused and a little ticked off. He then heard a thud and saw the headless body of his enemy. What am I supposed to do now? Oh well, I'll just get some rest and wait for the medics to get here. He then dropped to his back and started to eat. Damn, where the hell is Choji? You better still be alive. Shikamaru spoke while leading the rest of the team to get the Uchiha. Don't worry, I am sure Choji will pull through. Kiba said, looking back with a smirk. We have an enemy up ahead. Neji cuts in before they can get out of hand. They all have to dodge when a web is shot towards them. They try to cut it with kunai, but they are quickly caught while Neji used his gentle fist to cut the webs. Damn, it seems it can withstand our kunai. Shikamaru cursed at not having a wind affinity. If that is the case, I will stay back and fight the enemy. Neji stepped up and got in his stance. They all stop when they hear something from the forest. I'll deal with him. They all see a golden blur rush past them and before they know it, the spider guy was cut in half and died on the spot. They all see the shining Naruto who has a smirk plastered on his face. They all let out a sigh of relief at Naruto being their backup. Shikamaru can't help but think of Naruto as his knight in shining armor, considering how he is literally shining. Man, am I glad to see you. Shikamaru said. Yes, it is good to see you, Naruto-san. Neji said. What the hell are you doing here, man? We don't need your help. He was getting sick of Naruto always coming to save his ass and getting the attention from all the girls. Yay, come on, we have got a traitor to catch. I will go ahead while you guys just clean up whatever I don't finish. Naruto then left in a golden streak. Man, what a drag. Seiken and Yukin were the only ones left. They were currently separated, allowing one to hold the barrel while the other ran and kept watch. Damn, how could things get so out of hand like this? Seiken was not happy at all. He was starting to doubt if they could complete this mission. I know, this is quickly turning into a bust. Yukin said, carrying the barrel. They stop when they see none other than Kamimura drop in front of them. Give it to me, I will get it to Lord Orochimaru. Yukin gave him the barrel with Sasuke inside. Make sure you don't let them catch up to me. He quickly left with the two following them. They didn't see the other two cloaked figures watching them in the trees. One of them had angry red eyes. Naruto was making great time, but he was confused when he felt the chakra of someone he had faced before. How the hell did he survive my attack that time? How the hell did he escape a village in that state I left him? I swear our Anbu are complete garbage, I will have to go and beat their asses and get them in shape. He smirked at that train of thought. He made his way into a clearing where he could see the pale bone boy and some guy with two heads. Man, you guys just get more and more freaky. He spoke looking at the guy with two heads. Shut up, you leaf scum. Yukin yelled. Naruto only sighed at the basic insult. The leaf has been around for years, but yet it seemed as if that was the only insult they were capable of using. Wow, first time I heard that one. Naruto rolled his eyes. Just get out the damn way and let me take the spoiled child. I cannot, Lord Orochimaru must have him. Kamimura activated his curse mark already knowing how strong this guy was. Naruto sighed in irritation at this. Look, bone fella, you are really strong and have amazing loyalty. How about you come to the leaf and fight with us? Naruto held a hand out for the young teen. I will not betray my lord. He saved me. Kamimura coughed up blood and dropped to one knee. Naruto, seeing this, took the chance to capture him. He dashed off leaving a crater where he used to stand and kicked Kamimura in the face with so much force, it cracked his hard bones and formed a small crater under the teen. Naruto followed his path and slapped a seal on his head that would knock him out and suppress his chakra. Seiken was flabbergasted at what just happened in less than 3 seconds. He didn't even see the golden boy move and yet he was standing over a passed out Kimimaro. What the hell? How is he so fast? He quickly turned to Naruto and saw him sealing away the body of Kimimaro. This is my chance, his back is turned. He quickly separated from his brother and they went into their curse mark 2 states and went through hand signs for a fireball jutsu. They let loose a massive fireball that burned the ground it traveled over and they could still feel the heat. You're dead. They watched the fireball make contact with the space he was in and it burned the tree and exploded. However, they were not expecting to see Naruto just walk out of the flames as if nothing happened. There wasn't a single burn on his golden body. Naruto had used a new wind jutsu to make all the oxygen in his area to disappear. He figured if there was no fuel for the fire, it would just put itself out. All he had to do was hold his breath and he would be just fine. How are you alive? Just die. Yukin and his brother were about to go through more hand signs until they stopped when Naruto just appeared in front of them and their world turned upside down. He had cut their heads off with his wonderful blade that was bloodthirsty. During their small fight it seemed Sasuke was able to get out of the barrel and run off. He was about to run off until the Sand siblings landed in front of him. Hello, Naruto-kun. Temari gave the blonde a wave with a smile. Well, the two brothers gave him a nod. Hey Temari-chan, Makeup Boy, and Gaara Sandman. Naruto gave them all a smile and waved. How many times do I have to tell you it's war paint? Kankuro yelled using the big head jutsu, but nobody paid him any attention. What are you guys doing out here anyways? Naruto said, letting his KCM drop to give it a rest. Well, we were called for backup, but it seems you have everything under control. Gaara looked at the dead body and all of the destruction. That is when the Leaf's retrieval team landed and was surprised to see the sand ninjas. Whoa Naruto, you did all of this. Shikamaru spoke first out of the group. Yeah, we did, lazy boy. Temari smirked hotly at the Nara. Shikamaru only groaned at the troublesome blonde. Naruto, why is she here? Oh, lighten up, she was sent as backup. This will give you a chance to play some games. Naruto pushed him towards the girl who was still smirking at him. Shikamaru rubbed the back of his head and had a little blush on his face. Well, I was wondering if you wanted to go out sometime after this. Shikamaru couldn't believe he was looking like a wimp in front of the guys and it didn't help with the way Gaara was giving him that stare with his sand out. Are you asking me out on a date? Shikamaru only nodded, not trusting his voice. Well, make sure you come prepared, a date with me can be a real drag. This made everyone laugh, even Neji let out a slight chuckle. They then saw a green blur land in a fighting stance. The green beast of the Leaf is here. Rock Lee proclaimed until he saw everyone standing around looking at him. Where is the enemy? He asked confused and then everyone remembered they had a mission to complete. Oh right, we are supposed to get the Uchiha. Naruto said and everyone also remembered. He went this way, let's go and get him. They all followed after Naruto to complete the mission. They all made it to the Valley of the End and could see Sasuke standing on the head of Madara Uchiha waiting for them. Well, I didn't think there would be so many of you guys sent to get little old me, but even then with this power I have now, it won't matter. He activated the first level and the black marking ran across his face. It is all stopped when Naruto appears over him and slams a giant Rasengan into his back and sends him crashing into the feet of Hashirama. Well, that deals with that. I hope he isn't dead, that looks like it hurts. Everyone who was watching this couldn't believe what just happened. Naruto just disappeared too fast for anyone to see him. That move was really brutal, but they all know Naruto doesn't show mercy, nor does he waste good openings. Right when Naruto was about to pick him up, he can see 2 giant water shark bombs coming towards him, along with a massive fire dragon. He smirked to himself at the attacks coming towards him. Well, it looks like Shark Boy and Emo finally come back for round 2. Naruto activates his KCM, but he takes it a step further by going into KCM 2. His once blue armor is replaced by what looks like a black undershirt and golden pants. He gains a cloak made of golden chakra with 9 Magatama marks on his collar. On his stomach the seal turns into a circle and what is black lines seem to run out of it and make its way over his whole body. He smacks all of the attacks away with a tail of chakra, making the attacks crash into the cliffside and blow up, causing a large explosion to go off and rock the ground and cause a landslide. Everyone looks down to see Naruto facing Itachi and kiss him. What the hell are those two doing down there? Shikamaru yelled, losing his composure. We need to go and call for backup fast. Lee yelled and ran back to the Leaf as fast as he could. What should we do? Neji asked, looking at Shikamaru. There is really nothing we can do, we all could just leave, but then if things go bad, nobody would be here to get him out of danger. Damn, what a drag. Naruto will be fine. Gaara said with crossed arms and a straight face. Naruto however was looking at the two with his slitted golden eyes, he had a grin on his face at getting able to test out this form on someone worthy enough to fight him. Before we get started, let me take these seals off. He crossed his arms below his waist and pointed out his pointer and index finger and yelled. Release. His body glowed for a second and all of the resistance seals he had on his body were now released. He let out a laugh at being able to move at his full speed. Now let's see if you can keep up. He disappeared in a golden flash, next thing they knew Kisame was kicked away into the wall. Itachi turned his wide eyes to Naruto and was punched in the face and sent flying. Kisame was against the wall coughing up blood on the ground. Itachi had a hand on his jaw trying to pop it in place. He activated his Mangekyo Sharingan all disregard for his health out the window, he knew if he didn't fight with the intent to seriously hurt Naruto he would die too soon. Come on and dance with me, will you? Naruto taunted them with a smirk still plastered on his face. Kisame got up with a bloodthirsty grin on his face. He was going to love this fight even if it was his last. He tightened the grip on his sword and ran towards Naruto, who was also grinning with his own bloodlust showing clearly. They clashed causing the water under them to ripple and shockwaves to go all throughout the valley. Naruto throws quick punches towards Kisame who get hit by all of them, he tried to cut Naruto with his blade and hopefully take some chakra from the brat. Itachi, seeing Naruto was occupied, made his way at high speeds to Naruto and tried to hit him in the back of the head. He is caught by a chakra tail and thrown into the statue of Madara. He punches Kisame in the gut, making him fold over his hand. Naruto delivers a hammer fist to the back of his head and throws him towards Itachi, making cracks go up the legs of Madara. Itachi, that kid hits hard. Kisame said to his friend. Yay, I know. He broke my jaw. Itachi responded by rubbing his jaw. They looked at Naruto who was standing there grinning. Come on, I want to try out some of my new powers. He then formed a Rasen Shuriken and threw it at the two, Kisame held up his sword to eat the chakra. Itachi watched the attack being eaten by Kisame's sword, he didn't know if it could handle something like that, but it did. Naruto was surprised that his attack was absorbed. He thought it would just blow up right in their faces. He threw down a smoke bomb blinding their vision of what he was about to do. Here he comes. Itachi said getting ready for anything. They see the same attack making its way towards them again. Kisame puts up his sword again in order to be absorbed. He is surprised when the attack puffs in smoke and it reveals a clone who is smirking. Art is the clone began to glow wide and grin wider. An explosion. It explodes in their face, causing a smoke cloud to appear and the valley rumbles from the explosion again. The genin who were watching from a safe place were amazed at how strong Naruto was. To be pushing back 2S ranks ninjas back by himself really went to show his strength. Somewhere in the sky Deidara looks to the valley of the end with a proud smile on his face. It seems someone has discovered what true art is, he saluted in the direction causing Sasori to sweat drop. Nobody cares about your stupid art. True art is everlasting. The next thing he knew was that he was kicked off the flying bird and was now plummeting to the ground and he let out a girlish scream. Sorry my man, but don't talk about my art. Back with Naruto and his foes. He was currently watching Itachi clear the smoke with his ultimate defense. A orange Susanoo with a huge shield and a gourd bottle. He had Kisame inside the structure with him, but he was looking pretty bad. Naruto was actually impressed by what he was looking at. Naruto, I will give you props for pushing me this far. However it ends with this, you cannot break this shield. Itachi spoke calmly. He knew nothing could break this shield, it would change its chakra nature to counter-attack any attack he could launch at him. Kisame climbed out of his Susanoo and went through hand signs and shot out a huge portion of water that filled up almost all of the valley. Itachi dropped his Susanoo and walked back to catch his breath. That technique really took a lot out of him, he didn't think he would be able to hold it up long enough to fight Naruto. Kisame then formed all of the water into a giant dome, trapping Naruto inside of it. Kisame smirked, what's the matter, little fox can't swim. Kisame got in the dome and acted like nothing was wrong. Naruto only smirked at the talking shark. Bitch what, I'll bust your ass up. Naruto then took out a paper tag and threw it towards Kisame who looked at it with confusion. Naruto however put his hands in a sign and activated the tag. Tandem paper bomb. Naruto quickly flashed outside before he could be caught up in the explosion. What followed was a massive explosion that shook the very ground and caused everyone watching to fall and hold onto something. The screams of Kisame were mute compared to the loud constant explosion going on inside of the water dome he created. Itachi watched in utter surprise, that was the technique of the second Hokage. During all of this, no one noticed Kabuto quickly come in and grab Sasuke. When the 2 minutes of high-powered explosions ended they all saw a bloody Kisame who was laying on the ground barely alive, but the slight groans indicated he was. He reached out with all his strength and grabbed his sword and used all the chakra stored up to heal him from all the damage he received. He got up to his feet shakily and spit out some more blood, shocking Naruto that he was still getting up. So the problem is the sword, he really can't do anything without it. Naruto thought to himself and got an idea. An idea that Kasumi wholeheartedly agreed with. He made a clone and it went to the genin who was watching with wide eyes. The clone appeared by all of them, shocking them. "Hey guys, I will send you all back to the village now, things are about to get hot and heavy." He grabbed all of them and left in a blue flash to the leaf. Appearing in the office of Tsunade making her and all her Anbu get ready, only to relax when they saw who it was. "Naruto, what did I tell you about doing that?" Tsunade went to hit him on the head, but he caught it. "Hold on, I am fighting Itachi and Kisame right now and I just wanted to move them out of the way. So when you hear and see all the explosions just know it's the ass-kicking storm of the leaf." He pointed a thumb at himself. "You're fighting who? I will send a squad of Anbu to come and back you up." Tsunade said, not wanting her son and all but blood to die. "Don't worry about it, I am actually doing a good job at fighting them. They came at me with the intent to actually put me down, but they just can't dance with me." "He is right, Hokage-sama, he is doing a good job at keeping the fight in his hands." Shikamaru spoke up. "Yeah, so don't worry about it, just make sure you have your old ass down there to greet me when I come back." Everyone stepped away from Tsunade seeing the anger on her face. She punched the clones through the roof, making him fly towards the sky with a twinkle. Back with Naruto, he was now on the defensive from Itachi, who was launching fireballs at him, while Kisame would get up close with his sword and attempt to shave his skin right off. However, Naruto was too fast and agile for them to land a good hit. Enough of this. Itachi closed his left eye and charged up chakra. He shot black flames right on Naruto, who screamed out in pain. Only to puff and smoke, making a cloud of smoke to appear, indicating a shadow. Clone. Naruto dropped down on Kisame and slammed a Rasengan into his back. Naruto took this chance to grab the sword. Spikes came and stabbed Naruto's hands, but he ignored them and tossed it away. Naruto jumps away, dodging Shuriken coated in fire from Itachi. Naruto then charged towards Itachi, but Kisame jumped in the way and got involved in a taijutsu battle with Naruto. Kisame took a punch to the face, stomach, left lung, kidney. Each punch making him flinch from the power behind the attack. He was bleeding a whole river, cloak long gone only in his navy blue pants and ninja sandals. Naruto gives him a roundhouse kick, sending him flying back towards Itachi, who caught him. "Fuck, feel free to help me, Itachi," Kisame said, sending a glare towards his partner. "HMP. Don't you start with me," Kisame said with a tick mark on his head. "You dance well, but let's see if you still have strength left in your steps." Naruto exploded in golden chakra that began to grow larger and reach towards the sky. They all heard a massive primal roar that made all the animals run away. Naruto was now in a tailed beast transformation, he was gazing down at the two ninjas. He put his hands out and chakra started to form at the mouth of the nine tails. Itachi seeing this quickly made his Susanoo appear and Kisame went through hand signs as well. Tailed beast bomb. Isaka Magatama. Water style shark bomb jutsu. The following attack created a massive explosion that blew away the clouds and rumbled the ground, causing massive shockwaves and earthquakes. The ground under them cracked until it blew away, the statues of Madara and Hashirama began to crack and fall, only making it much worse. The attack could be seen and felt all the way in the Leaf Village and those who were close enough to feel the attack. Everyone in the Leaf saw the massive explosion and felt the shockwaves causing some of their buildings to shake. Once the explosion settled down, you could still see the golden form of the giant nine-tailed fox and a slight orange glow in the smoke. Naruto was starting to pant a bit from the intense battle he was having. He blew the smoke away with a swing of Kasumi's tails. He saw Itachi hiding behind his Susanoo that was barely hanging on at this point. Once he shot his attack, he quickly moved his shield in order to defend himself. Kisame was unfortunately not lucky enough to make it behind the shield in time and suffered the full brunt of the attack, leaving him on the ground bloody and dead. Itachi seeing this cursed and his Susanoo gave out on him, causing him to collapse. Naruto seeing this made his avatar fade away and he quickly dashed towards the injured man and punched him away. He looked at the dead fish man and checked his pulse to see if he was down for the count this time. No heartbeat. Dead and gone. He had killed one of them. He grabbed the ring that was on his hand and put it in a seal. Itachi got to his feet heavily beaten, his cloak was blasted off leaving him in his navy blue shirt and pants. He had blood coming from his mouth and eyes. "You look like shit, dude," Naruto had to comment. "Why, you are right, it seems you have won again." He stopped to spit out some blood. Naruto was about to finish him off, but for some reason he didn't. He normally would just kill them in their weakened state, but he didn't move. Just get out of here, my mission is over. You should really do something about your brother before he gets himself killed. Naruto turned to the dead Kisame and sealed the body in a scroll. Whatever your plan is for your brother, you should just stop it and tell him straight up. I don't know why you killed your clan, but I know it wasn't to test your power. He then deactivated his KCM2, allowing his blue armor to show once again. He summoned a Thunderbird and climbed on its back. Take me to the leaf Kuro. Naruto said to the all-black Thunderbird. You got it, Naruto-sama. With that he took to the sky and made his way towards the leaf. While he waited to get there he decided to get some rest and took a little nap on Kuro's back. Kuro brought Naruto to the front of the gates and dropped him off. Letting Tsunade take care of him. He is only sleeping, from what I saw he had a huge battle. Kuro puffed in smoke leaving Tsunade with Naruto who was over her shoulder. Naruto, my son. I am so proud, but I am still going to punish you for doing something so foolish. Tsunade thought with a smile on her face at the sleeping Naruto. She walked to the hospital listening to the sound of Naruto's armor clank with each step. The villagers waved and asked her questions about their Naruto-sama. She made it to the hospital and got him a room. She took his clothes off and put him in hospital clothes. She laid him down in a bed. He woke up as soon as she sat him down. Thanks for the lift, Mom, you are too kind. He gave her a bright smile making her gain a tick mark. You were up this whole time. Tsunade hit him on top of the head. I just needed some rest and you just so happened to be willing. The door was slammed open and in came Haku with a worried look on her face. Hey, Haku-chan. Naruto held out his arms for the girl and she ran in and gave him a big hug and passion-filled kiss. He returned it with just as much passion as Haku did. Naruto-kun, we were all so worried about you. Haku said, still staying in his arms. Sorry to worry you, but I am all good now. He kissed the top of her head making her smile. Now tomorrow I will be leaving on that training trip, so tonight you make sure to come home so we can have some goodbye sex. He said the last part in her ear making the girl blush and shiver. Okay Naruto-kun, I will be there. She then left to go home and tell everyone. Okay, just stay here and rest for a while and then you can go. Tsunade ruffled his hair and walked out. Uzumaki compound. Naruto was released from the hospital and made his way home so he can have a good time. He opened the gate and walked in locking it back. He walked to the front door and opened it. He saw Anko, Tsunami, Kasumi, Kurenai, Guren, Haku, Teiya, Ino, Shizune, and Kin in sexy lingerie waiting for him. They all had blushes and smirks on their faces. What a way to welcome me home. They then made his way to his room and put up silencing seals, blocking out all of the groans and moans of the occupants in the room. They had fun all night long. Next day. It was early morning and Naruto, Karen, Tsunade, and Jiraiya along with Rukia were at the gates. Goodbye Papa, I will miss you, but when you come back I will be super strong. Rukia said with some tears in her eyes, giving Naruto a tight hug. I will miss you too baby, and I can't wait to see how strong you get. Just make sure you are good for Granny Tsunade. Tsunade got a tick mark but let it slide this time. She smiled and walked towards Naruto. Goodbye son, make sure you are okay. She gave him a kiss on the forehead and brought him into another motherly hug. Naruto returned the hug as well. He gave her a kiss on the cheek like he always did. I will mom, don't worry about me. He then walked back to Karen who was standing next to Jiraiya who decided to stick with them for a little bit. Alright, let's get going. Jiraiya spoke walking out the gates. So did you tell your boyfriend goodbye? I didn't see you at home yesterday. Naruto smirked at the redhead girl. Do I need to speak with Neji about something? Shut up. Naruto laughed it off and only smiled at the blushing girl. The next 3 years would be something to remember. XXX. Somewhere in water country. Fuck, why the hell did leader send us out here and not that damn fly trap? An angry voice said. Stop your fucking complaining, all we need to do is kill these 2 assholes and we can finish what we were doing. The voice just as angry replied. This was Haiden and Kakazu. They were sent out by the leader of the Akatsuki to look for traces of the 3 tails. They were meant to gather money, not spy on people. It also didn't help that this new group called the Guardians. It was a group of the Jinchuriki formed to counteract the Akatsuki. 7S rank ninjas versus 8S rank ninjas. It was about to be 6 after this battle if things kept going the way they were. While searching for the 3 tails, Haiden and Kakazu had made contact with 2 members of the group who were also looking for the 3 tails. Have you finally given up now? A cold and calculative voice asked. Shut your damn mouth. Haiden shouted. You are so annoying, I am about to kill you. A chipper female voice said. You bitch. Say that to my face. Haiden, shut up. Kakazu said and coughed up some blood. They were getting beat up for most of the fight and it was drawing to a close soon. Look at you, about to die. Sucks to be you. Haiden twirled his scythe and got ready to charge back in. Idiot. Kakazu coughed out. Haiden then charged in with a manic smile on his face, not caring what happened, it wasn't like he could die. The green blur went past him and his world turned upside down. His head was cut off by a blade of wind held by a dark-skinned hand. You're done for now. The girl turned around showing her mint green hair and bright orange eyes and dark skin. Fu pumped more chakra into the wind blade, giving it a white glow and also making the blade hum with power. Say goodbye, bitch. She then performed multiple slashes with her wind blade and cut Haiden's head and body into multiple pieces. She then finished it off with a fireball just to be sure about her kill. Utakata only shook his head at Fu. Utakata was wearing a black cloak with his collar folded down that had green waves on the bottom, symbolizing a new wave of change, with the color green symbolizing growth and new beginnings for the world. Under his coat he had on a light blue turtleneck. He had black pants that were tied at the bottom by light blue tape into black ninja sandals. He had his bubble blower of death tied around his neck hanging to his midsection. Fu had a similar cloak, but she had it opened at the bottom, revealing her well-toned midsection and belly button. She was wearing black tights with black tape covering her feet so as to not get them injured during missions. She would harden her feet with earth chakra or wind chakra during her fights, depending on whatever she was doing, and it was easier for her to fly. You have been hanging around Naruto-sama too much. Utakata said with clear amusement. He had gotten used to Fu and her new quirk she picked up from Naruto. She was his partner and sister after all. Fu pouted, what are you trying to say? And you know big bro doesn't like when you call him that. You have picked up on his bad language in Finnish lines. He shuddered at remembering Naruto shooting tailed beast bombs with that grin on his face, while also giving some final line to his enemies. Well, I think it is great. Fu crossed her arms and turned her head. Kazu tried to use this attempt to escape with his last heart but was stopped when he was trapped in a bubble and floated towards the two. You were not trying to escape, were you? Utataka asked in that ice-cold tone that could freeze over hell. Kazu cursed in his head. There was no way they would let him go, they are after people like him after all. If he was dying it would be under his own terms. He channeled his chakra into this last attack. If I'm going down, you are coming with me. He was about to finish but was stopped when a wind blade pierced his last heart, making him gasp. No, you don't. Fu wagged her finger as if talking to a child. Let's just finish this guy, blow his ass up. Fu ran back in order to take cover from the explosion that was to come. You got it. Utakata then sent the bubble up into the air and got ready for his final attack. He couldn't help himself, he just had to say it one time. Say goodbye, bitch. He then blew the bubble up, causing a large explosion to sound and rock the ground they were standing on. The explosion could be seen from miles away. Thud. The body of a dead Kakazu fell to the ground with burns and parts of his body missing. You just couldn't help yourself, could you? Fu asked, grinning towards Utakata who looked away and blushed from embarrassment. Shut up. Just grab the body and let's get back to the village. Utakata said and jumped into the trees leaving Fu to grab the body. She grabbed the body and jumped after him with a smile on her face. Her life had really taken a turn for the better when she met Naruto that day. Flashback. Naruto and Karen were walking in the village hidden in waterfalls. They had wanted to get in, but the guards didn't want to let them so Naruto and Karen just snuck in using their chakra sensei ability. That's a big ass tree. Naruto gazed at the giant tree in the middle of the village. Karen nodded next to him. Yup, and I can feel Chime's chakra coming from over there. Well, let's go and see them. They then began to sneak around the village to not get caught by the ninja protecting the village. It wasn't a lot of them and they also were pretty weak from what Naruto could sense. They made it to the tree and could see what looked like a run-down cabin behind the tree covered by a grove of trees. Talk about a shithole. Naruto received a smack upside the head for that comment. I do remember seeing your place and it didn't look any better. Karen saw his old apartment and it was not the 5-star compound he had now. They walked up to the door and gave it a slight knock. Go away, I don't have the rent. A voice sounded from the inside. We are not here for your money, we are here for you. Naruto said. I don't want your love letter. Creep. Naruto got a tick mark while Karen giggled off to the side. I'll have you know, I have multiple women at home who love me. Naruto shouted towards the door. So you are a pervert and a creep. He could hear the mocking way the voice said it. That is it. He unsheathed his sword and got ready to cut the building down. I was going to play nice, but now I am just going to kidnap you. He was about to do an attack but was stopped when Karen grabbed his arm. Wait, if you do that it might alert the village that we are here. Naruto calmed down a little but was still a little mad. Excuse my rude brother, he doesn't have any manners. Naruto's eyebrow twitched. We just want to give you a better life and save you from this place." They heard footsteps and soon the door cracked open and they saw Fu stick her head from behind the door. "What do you mean?" Fu saw the two smile at her fondly. "I am Naruto Uzumaki, the holder of the 9 tails, and my sister holds the 4 tails. We are making a group of us Jinchuriki and we wanted to know if you want to join." Naruto finished with a smile and Fu's eyes widened at what she was hearing. Flashback over. From that day forward she had never looked back and would forever thank Naruto for giving her a better life. The two then made their way to the Mist Village where the leader was waiting for them. Izuka's office. "Naruto-kun, are you sure that those two will be okay?" Mei, the leader of the Mist Village, asked her friend who was like a little brother to her. "For the last time, woman, they will be fine." Naruto answered annoyed. He was laying on the couch while Mei did paperwork with some shadow clones. He had given her the secret to paperwork and he ended up with rosy red lipstick all on his face. "Don't be taking that tone with me, young man." Mei sent Naruto a slight glare from behind her desk. "Smartus, I am just worrying about my friends." "There is nothing to worry about, we all trained together with our tailed beast and those guys were just the low tier of the Akatsuki." Naruto and his group had trained in their powers with the help of each other and their Biju. Once they had finished they made their group and went to go hunt the members but didn't have any luck until now. They however did missions for multiple people in order to get their name out in the world. "That's why I'm worried. They have been around you so long, they might have picked up your bad habits." "Oh yeah, like what?" "Their crude language, finish lines, explosive jutsu, and battle-hungry nature." Mei named off only a short list of all the things about Naruto. "Oh, and you are so much better. Every time someone mentions age or marriage you get all defensive and want to kill someone." "Don't make me melt you," Mei said dangerously with an aura of death surrounding her. Naruto only laughed at her. "If you could melt me, I am sure that little bumblebee from Stone would have done it a long time ago." He thought of the girl in Stone who he just loved making mad. Mei scowled, "My lava is much hotter than hers, just like me." "Then why are you still single?" He had to dodge a lava bowl that melted the couch in a second. Mei was ready to shoot another one, but two people appeared in the room. "Bro, mission accomplished." Fu saluted Naruto who did the same thing back to her. "Great work, soldier." He opened his arms that were covered by his cloak that all the members of the Guardians were wearing. Around his neck was the green necklace of his mother Tsunade. Naruto was wearing a black long-sleeve shirt. He had on black Anbu pants with black tape on his ankles and black ninja sandals. Naruto's blonde hair had gotten longer with 2 bangs hanging over his leaf headband. Gyu jumped into his arms and gave him a big hug. "Since our mission is done, are you going back to the leaf now?" "Yup, I am due back anyways. I sent Karen ahead in order to let everyone know." Naruto separated from Fu and walked to Utakata and gave him a fist bump. "Did you use the line?" Naruto asked with a grin. "Fu, you stay here with your partner and help Mei with missions." Fu nodded at what he said. Utakata turned his head and looked down to hide his blush and shame. "Yes, I did." Naruto and Fu began to laugh at the man who started to sulk in the corner. "It felt good, didn't it?" Naruto already knew the answer, but he just wanted to hear it from him. He saw the man nod in the corner, making him laugh some more. "Don't worry, soon you will be making your own." "When will we be leaving?" Fu asked once she stopped laughing. "We can leave later today, I can get there in a flash." He held out a 3-pronged kunai that was all black. He had wanted to change them from the way his father made them. Fu made an O face. "You two just relax for about an hour or two and then we will get going." He got a nod from Fu. "Utakata, make sure you don't cause any trouble for Mei-chan, you know she is getting up there in age." He ducks a lava ball. "And let us know if you need anything." He turned to Mei who was glaring at him. "I am going to your house to sleep in your bed." He flashed away in a blue light. "I swear I really hate him sometimes," Mei said but then smiled a little while later. She would miss having him around as company. 2 hours later, Hokage office. Tsunade was sitting in her office doing what all Kages hated doing. Paperwork. Naruto had told her the secret but it seemed like even when the clones were helping it was still a lot of paperwork. She didn't sign up for this shit. Tsunade let out a sigh from all the work she has done today. Something then caught her eye. It was a picture of her and Naruto when they had made it back to the village. She was wearing her Hokage hat while he had an arm around her shoulder with a big smile on his face while she had a similar smile while giving a peace sign to the camera. She smiled softly at the picture. It has been 3 years since she had last seen her son and she missed him. "Where is he? I thought he was supposed to be back already." Everyone wants to see him, even the villagers want to see their hero. Tsunade was snapped from her thoughts when she got a knock on the door. "Come in." The door opened to reveal Sakura Haruno, her young student. Sakura saw her master and smiled. She had asked to be taught by Tsunade when Naruto had left for his training with Karen. Over the training she had really grown over the 3 years. Sakura's pink hair was flowing to her lower neck. There was also a diamond mark in the middle of her forehead. She wore a red V-neck crop top showing her muscled torso. She had on a fishnet sports bra, black high shorts revealing her toned and thick thighs. Black ninja sandals that went past her knees. She was wearing pink elbow pads, and to finish her outfit she would sometimes wear a sleeveless cloak that has pink flower petals at the bottom. "Tsunade-sama, I have some more paperwork for you," Sakura said with a smirk on her face. Tsunade slumped into her chair. "Hey, why don't I make you the Hokage for a day?" "Nah, I'm good, plus if I have to sit in this office all day, then I don't think I will be Hokage," Sakura said and looked out the window with a smile. "So where is bro?" Tsunade smiled once again. "I'm not sure, but he should be here sometime soon." The knock on the door made both the ladies look towards it. "Come in," Tsunade said. The door opened revealing Karen, whose outfit was similar to the other guardians, but she had a fur pelt on her collar that would catch flames when she used fire chakra or Goku's. "Hey you two, I was just coming to tell you things went well in the mist and Naruto should be here soon." "That's great, this will make our alliance even stronger with the mist. Did you find anything on the Three Tails?" Tsunade wanted to make sure they kept the Three Tails out the hands of Akatsuki or Aiwa. Things with them and the Sound have not been good. They have been pushing their luck while also trying to boost up their forces. Tsunade was not just sitting on her ass though, she also made all ninja amp up their training and made sure to fix the academy. "No, we did not discover anything about the Three Tails, but Naruto sent me a scroll saying they killed 2 members of the Akatsuki," Karen said, shocking the 2 occupants in the room. "Who were they?" Sakura asked. She was confident that she could take on one of the lower members, but if she used her 100 healings, she could defeat her master and maybe one of the upper tier members of the group. "It was Kakazu and Haiden," Karen said. "Who defeated them?" Tsunade was curious. "Fu and Utakata." Tsunade whistles. "Well, no wonder, those 2 are tails apart." The village then began to rumble and clouds began to form overhead, making everyone look up to see the strange event. Lighting began to peak from the grey clouds and the sound of thunder echoed over the whole village. Tsunade and Sakura only knew of one person who would make such an entrance. The sky then went completely black. It then happened. They all heard the primal roar of a beast. The civilians began to get a little scared while the ninja prepared for an attack. They all saw flashes of lighting inside the clouds and they saw slight glances of a massive beast flying. The clouds parted revealing the grinning form of Naruto riding on top of Arashi. The civilians of the red light district recognized him right away. They started to cheer his name. "Naruto. Naruto. Naruto." The named boy was just taking in all the praise from atop his creation. "Go on and give them a roar." Naruto patted one of the 3 heads of Arashi who seemed to grin. The beast then widened its wings and let out a massive roar that went on for miles across the earth. Everyone then began to cheer in the village. "The storm of the leaf has returned," Naruto shouted with a wide grin on his face. Back in the office, Tsunade, Sakura and Karen smiled at Naruto's antics. He always knew how to make an entrance and get the people behind him. "I swear that idiot, son of mine." Tsunade couldn't help but feel happy. Her son was back and would definitely bring a storm with him. "You go to Naruto-kun." Sakura was outside cheering with everyone else. She couldn't believe how big that damn storm dragon was. It cast a shadow over half the village. "We should just make it a holiday when he comes back to the village." Karen chuckled to herself. Back with Naruto, he flew the dragon back into the storming clouds and cancelled the jutsu, but not before letting him have one more roar. He parted the clouds with his wind chakra and was now flying back to the ground. He nosedived and used wind chakra to catch himself before he made contact with the ground. He then flashed into the Hokage office. "Hey there guys," Naruto shouted. "Bro." Sakura jumped to Naruto who caught her and spun her around making the girl grin and laugh. Naruto eyed her up and down. He whistled. "Damn sis, you look hot." Naruto grinned at his little sister. Sakura smirked and did a few poses. "You think so?" He chuckled. "Love it." He then turned to the woman who was behind the desk. "It's been a long time, brat. Your training proved to be fruitful, I hope," Tsunade said with a warm smile on her face towards her knucklehead blonde. Naruto only smirked. "Come on mom, don't be like that, you aren't getting any younger." Naruto walked at Tsunade who had gotten up to embrace him. He then gave her a bunch of kisses on her face, making her giggle and push him away. "It's good to have you back, son." She gave him another smile. Naruto smiled in return before he then grinned. "Now where is my little snow bunny? I have a gift for her." Everyone already knew who he was talking about. She is most likely waiting at home for you like everyone else is, I can feel their excitement from here. Karen spoke up. Yay, and she has missed you a lot. She tried to hide it with that little indifferent face of hers, but I could see that she missed you. Tsunade said. She has also become very strong over the past years, one of the strongest ninja in the village if I am being honest. Naruto smiled proudly. What do you expect? She is my daughter after all. That's good and all, but how strong are you? Tsunade was actually really interested to know considering how strong he was when he left the village. I am pretty sure you have seen my bingo book entry, but let's just say that I have weathered the storm. Naruto then left in a lighting body flicker. Uzumaki compound. Everyone who was living at the compound were waiting for Naruto to come home. They had all seen him outside in the sky and couldn't wait to see him up close. I swear if that shithead doesn't get here in 5 seconds, I am going to shove my foot up his ass. A flash then appeared behind Taiya. You will do what? Naruto wrapped his arms around the waist of Taiya and pulled her to his muscled chest. Taiya turned red at the surprise and felt his body pressed up against her. She missed him so damn much. Why you shithead, making me wait. Naruto turned her around and smiled at her. I've missed you Taiya-chan. He then gave her a kiss that she happily returned. He pulled away, making Taiya moan in disappointment. Don't worry, there will be more time for that. He then turned to see everyone else. I'm home. Naruto shouted in the house. Naruto. Everyone said and then jumped on him. Tsunami, Inari, Anko, Kurenai, Ranmaru, Ino, Kin, Shizune, Haku, Hinata, and Guren. They were all giving him a big hug on the ground with smiles on their faces. They all get up to let him breathe. Until Ino spoke in a happy tone, Master, we are so happy to have you back. Ino said and gave him a kiss. Ino had matured in beauty, and Naruto could tell just by looking at her figure under that maid outfit, she still looked good. Naruto chuckled. I am glad to be back, but where is Rukia-chan? Naruto looked around and saw her standing over to the side looking at him with a smile. He smiled and walked over to her. Everyone gave the father and daughter space. She had really grown into a beautiful young lady. Rukia was wearing a black shirtishim, her hair is cropped, she wears a white fingerless tekme which extends above her elbows. Hey dad. Rukia said looking up at Naruto with a big smile. Naruto raised an eyebrow. No papa. Rukia scoffed, I am not a little girl anymore, I don't say such childish things. Oh and you're also too cool to give your dad a hug. Naruto wrapped her into his strong arms and nuzzled their faces together making the girl laugh and try to escape his hug. He then stopped and just looked at her with a warm smile. I don't care how old you are, you will still be my little girl. He just gave her a fatherly hug, one that Rukia returned with a smile. I got a gift for you. Naruto separated and gave Rukia a smirk. What is it? Rukia tried to hide her happiness, but she just couldn't help it. Naruto always gave the best gifts. It is the rabbit I promised to get you. He unsealed an all-white rabbit that had big white ears and a puffy white tail at the back. Rukia got hearts in her eyes along with Haku. It's so cute. Rukia picked the rabbit up and began to talk to it, along with Haku who had just joined her. I will name you Chappie. Haku and Rukia then walked into the backyard to play with the new bunny. Well that was heartwarming. Tsunami said and walked up to Naruto and gave him a kiss. She hadn't changed much but still looked just as beautiful in Naruto's opinion. Well why don't we all catch up? Naruto made his way to the couch, followed by everyone except Ino, Kin, Shizune, and Guren, who left to make snacks for everyone in the place. Time passed and they all talked about things they did over the 3 years. They talked about the training and future plans they have. Laughing at the things Naruto had told them he saw during his adventures. A knock sounded at the compound gates. Guren went to answer it. Yes, how may I help you Anbu? Lady Hokage wishes to test Naruto-sama at Training Ground 7 right now. The Anbu then body flickered away. Guren sighed. But the master just returned. She then went back inside to tell the sad news. Naruto-sama, the Hokage wants you at the training ground to give a demonstration of your skills. Everyone gave a groan of protest. He just got back and he was about to leave to do some stupid test. Naruto then got an idea. Why don't we all go and see me kick somebody's ass? Good idea master. Kin said and was up and waiting at the door. Brace you all there. Naruto then picked up Inari and Tsunami and dashed off at great speeds. That's cheating. Anko yelled until she jumped after him. Everyone soon followed after him and they all had smiles on their faces. Training Ground 7. Naruto landed with Inari and Tsunami. Alright we won. Inari yelled with his black hair a mess from all the winds blowing past his face. Inari had also grown over the 3 years. His face had lost the baby fat. He now had a slim and lean body. He didn't want to be a ninja, but he worked out to stay in shape. That's right, we did, I am the fastest man alive after all. Naruto pointed a finger at himself. Oh really? A lazy voice sounded. Naruto turned his head and saw Kakashi Haddock standing reading his smut out in public. Kakashi, don't tell me you are going to test me. Naruto raised an eyebrow at the man. He knew Kakashi was strong, but he was a high A rank and low S rank ninja at best. Why yes I am, and there is also someone else who will be helping me. When Kakashi finished that sentence, someone rose from the ground in an Anbu outfit with a bear mask on. Naruto eyed the Anbu up and down. He was not impressed and his face showed his displeasure. He turned to Tsunade who was in the tree with Jiraiya. Mom, why does this guy have senju cells in his body? He isn't a lost senju, is he? Tsunade was shocked that he could tell there were senju cells in Tenzo. She turned to the Anbu who shook his head in a negative way. It's classified information. Naruto did not like the answer, but he already had a good idea of what happened to the guy. Alright Naruto, this will be a simple spar to test your skills. Kakashi put his book away and pulled up his headband. He then pulled out a bell. If you don't. Naruto cut him off. I am not here to do your damn bell test. I will simply beat your ass until you see the difference. Naruto finished with that predatory grin on his face that made both the men shiver in fright. Okay then. Kakashi put the bell up and got into his stance ready to fight. He turned to Tenzo with a serious gaze. Tenzo, I am sure you are aware, but do not take Naruto lightly, if you hold back too much it won't end well for you. Tenzo was offended, but you couldn't see it behind his mask. I think you forget who I am. This brat won't last. Don't get cocky, I am telling you it won't help you. Kakashi said harshly. This was not the time to let ego cloud your judgment. He saw that big dragon and knew if he wanted Naruto could have destroyed the village. Everyone from the compound had landed and was now watching Naruto get ready to fight the two jounin. Will Naruto-kun be okay? Hinata asked worriedly. She stayed in her outfit she was wearing from 3 years ago. She filled out the clothes pretty nicely, if she had to say. I am sure Naruto-kun will be just fine. Kurenai said with a reassuring smile towards Hinata. Yeah, there is nothing to worry about, those two are nothing compared to Naruto. Karen said. That's a little harsh, don't you think? Shizune said. It may be, but it is simply how things are. The things he has done over the past 3 years are just crazy. He beat the Raikage in a race of speed and beat all of the other guardians by himself. They all gasped in shock. No lie, shithead is that strong. Taiya couldn't believe her man was such a powerhouse. Yes, the only people who I could say would be stronger than him would be the leader of the Akatsuki, Hashirama, and Madara in their prime. Karen said. Damn, I wonder what a fight between them would look like. Anko said giddy. I don't. If forces like them clash, it will destroy everything and cause mass destruction. Karen said gravely, she knew that Naruto and the leader of the Akatsuki would clash eventually. Yes, it would be best if we were not close to them when something like this happened. Shizune said. Rukia hearing this was shocked at how strong her dad was. She had become one of the strongest ninja in the village and knew her strength was great. However, she saw the massive dragon and wondered if she could stop something like that. She had advanced very far in her spiritual arts and her sword had told her she was close to gaining Bankai. It didn't matter, she would also train and become as strong as her dad. Alright, come at me for real. Naruto taunted the two ninja who rushed at him. Tenzo rushed in first at Jounin speeds he knew Naruto wouldn't be able to dodge. He aimed a fist for Naruto's face, but he went right through him. Ninjutsu no it was. Tenzo's thoughts were put to a pause when he was kicked in the side. An afterimage. Naruto sent the Anbu crashing back to Kakashi who had seen all of the events unfold. His Sharingan was barely able to keep up with him, and he meant barely. Naruto then turned his gaze to Kakashi who seemed to be thinking of a plan. Naruto then rushed towards Kakashi who jumped out of the way but was punched in the face by a clone who was behind him. Naruto then took the chance to land another blow to Kakashi. Kakashi did a substitution and was behind a tree thinking over what had just happened. Damn, those hits hurt like hell and I didn't even see him make the clone. Kakashi had to duck when a wind blade sliced the tree in half. That was a close one, Kakashi. Naruto said holding a wind blade that was humming in his hand. Naruto ducked a fist to the back of the head and stabbed what was behind him with a wind blade in the shoulder. He turned and saw the Anbu behind him. Naruto was about to deliver another attack until the body turned to wood and clamped around him. Wood strangling jutsu. The Anbu rose from the ground and Naruto could just feel the smugness coming from the Anbu. Well, it looks like the storm was only a light breeze. Naruto grinned at the Anbu who was a bit confused at the boy. Why is he acting like he can still win? He was trapped and there was no getting out. So this is why I can feel the Senju chakra coming from you. The Anbu along with Tsunade were shocked. How did he figure it out? This was top secret. You must think your wood style can hold me. It can and I will. You have lost. Tenzo added more chakra to the move, making Naruto groan from the tightness. Tenzo turned to Kakashi who still seemed to be on guard. That was too easy, Naruto is a S-rank ninja, and a simple binding jutsu won't hold him. Kakashi looked around to see if he could find a clone or something. He was snapped back to attention when he felt the spike come from Naruto. Listen Woody, your wood style is too weak to hold me. Naruto then channeled Kasumi's chakra. 5 tails sprouted from behind Naruto, and he quickly broke free from the wood holding him. Tenzo was flabbergasted that someone broke free from his wood style. He knew it wasn't as strong as the first Hokage, but nobody had ever broken free with such force before, and he was a little shaken up. Now your wood style is meaningless. He dropped the 5-tailed cloak and was now standing with his arms crossed. You have to come at me better than that if you want to take me down. Naruto said to Kakashi and Tenzo. I told you. Kakashi shoots a glare towards Tenzo. Sorry senpai. Bet over it. We will simply try again and hope to take him down. Come on, I don't have all day. Naruto grinned at the two. He would have some fun before he defeated them. Naruto was weaving in between blows from Kakashi and Tenzo. They had taken the fight to him and had been trying to land an effective blow on him for 10 minutes straight. Naruto was getting tired of just dodging now, so he would show them how to attack. Naruto saw a head kick coming from Kakashi. He caught the foot and had an iron grip on the leg. He ducked a wooden fist from Tenzo and grabbed him by the throat. That is not how you attack. Naruto's grip on them got tighter. It's like this. Naruto held Kakashi upside down by his leg. He then kicked him in the chest while he was in the air unbalanced. Naruto then spun Yamato and tossed him into his own tree he had grown. Yamato impacted with the tree and he spit out some saliva under his mask. Dynamic entry. Yamato then felt as if he was hit by a train. Naruto kicked him smack in the middle of the chest, sending him through the tree with a cry of pain. Kakashi had gotten back to his feet and was looking at Naruto with apprehension in his two mixed match eyes. They had not been holding back on Naruto, but yet, he was still handling them as if they were nothing. Kakashi knew he wasn't weak, but was Naruto just that strong? Yamato's thoughts were similar to his senpai's. His main weapon had no effect on Naruto. His taijutsu seemed to be too slow to land a hit and he would just blow away their jutsu like it was made by a civilian ninja. He was the Anbu captain for God's sake, he would not be embarrassed so badly. Naruto looked at the two with a blank face. He was not having as good of a time he thought he would. Tenzo was actually pretty weak, he could tell that wood style was all he had. That was something he worked on during his training trip. He didn't want to be over-reliant on his bloodline like most bloodline users. Naruto looked at Kakashi who seemed to be trying to think of a way to beat him, but it was futile. He knew Kakashi came to that conclusion, but because of his pride he wouldn't give up like that. Come on you two. You can still dance can't you? Naruto smirked at them, but it then dropped. I will be on the attack this time I hope you can keep up. Naruto then disappeared from where he was standing. He appeared again and spin-kicked Kakashi, sending him flying back. His body flickered away and gave Yamato multiple punches and then grabbed him and tossed him to Kakashi. Kakashi groaned. He shakily got back to his feet. Damn, we can't even see him move. I will try to trap him and you hit him with something. Yamato went through hand signs. Wood-style wood bullets. Yamato slammed his hands on the ground and 6 wooden slabs rose and shot towards Naruto. Only 6. Naruto then went through hand signs at a fast pace. Wind dome. The wooden slabs were sliced up before they even came into contact with Naruto. Is that all? Naruto asked mockingly. The ground under him cracked before splitting apart and wooden pillars came from the ground and trapped him in a wooden prison. Wooden branches then branched out and wrapped around his body tightly. Wood prison. Yamato had a kunai out and was ready to strike Naruto down if he made any move. Kakashi now. Kakashi went through hand signs and shot a wind tornado at Naruto. He then sped through more hand signs and shot an intense flame of fire towards the wind, making it a flaming tornado. We got him. Tenzo said happily. On the sideline the people watching seemed a little worried about Naruto's safety, except for Karen who was just smirking. Oh no. Did they go too far? Tsunami asked worriedly. That perverted Cyclops. When I get my damn hands on his ass. Taiya grabbed the dagger from her hip and had it ready. She was wearing some dark red loose pants that covered her black ninja sandals. She was wearing a black long-sleeved kimono that had a red Uzumaki swirl on her back. She had her flute in a seal on her wrist so she could get it at any time. She had trained over the 3 years in the dagger arts as to not be reliant on her genjutsu. Don't worry, I will get some hits in for you. Naruto said, laying his head on Tsunade's shoulder. What are you doing over here? Tsunade sounded irritated but did not remove Naruto from her shoulder. He smiled and gave her a kiss on the cheek. Just watching them attack that poor clone. Naruto then walked back to the field, but not before smacking Ino on the ass. I've missed that ass. He gave Ino a wink and made her blush, but winked back. He walked back into the field. Okay you two. That got the 2x Anbu attention. Since you like beating up clones, how about I let them beat up you guys? Naruto then put his hands in a cross sign. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. 1,000 clones formed in a puff of smoke. It's been a while since I just swarmed someone with clones, but for you I will make an exception. How? Tenzo asked with a little fear in his voice. You should know how, just take out as many as you can. A familiar sound of lightning sparked in Kakashi's hand. He then vanished and appeared behind Naruto ready to strike him in the shoulder. Naruto easily sidestepped and grabbed Kakashi's arm that was covered in lighting. You would have to move at the speed of lighting itself to hit me so easily, and even then you would have to be faster than that. Naruto placed a seal on Kakashi's head that knocked him out in a second. Naruto then turned a devilish grin towards Yamato. Now, you insulted my storm and I can't let that slide. Naruto advanced and so did the clones. Yamato took a hesitant step back. He wasn't seeing Naruto right now, he saw a demon in human skin. Get his ass. All the clones and Naruto charged the Anbu who made a wooden dome to try and block the attacks, but it was shortly destroyed and he suffered the blows of the clones. When all the clones disappeared it revealed the beat-up form of Yamato. His mask had been broken due to the amount and force of the punches he had received. Naruto walked over to the man and saw the blood coming from his busted lip and broken nose. Naruto got in his face. You got knocked the fuck out, bitch. Naruto laughed and called over his mother to heal the man. Ai jumped on his back with a grin. I will be stealing that line when I lay somebody on their ass. Naruto smirked back at her. Speaking of ass. Naruto smacked hers while she was in his arms. Ai yelped in pain and pleasure. She then smirked and got a little pink on her cheeks. It seems you've missed me more than I thought. You have no idea. Ai leaned to his ear and whispered sexily. Why don't you show me handsome? Naruto's smirk only grew bigger with her words. He was going to show her alright. I'll see you guys at home. Naruto flashed off with Taiya on his back giggling like a schoolgirl. That damn redhead, she got him first. Anko stumped her foot on the ground with an angry pout. I swear they are both perverts. Kurenai said also angry that she didn't go first. I know you're not talking about perverts, the way Naruto is having you. Anko's face was covered by a blushing Kurenai. Shut up or no dango for a whole 3 months. Kurenai said in a dangerous tone. Anko only licked her hand, Mak and Kurenai withdrew her hand and glared. Fine, but everyone knows how much of a slut you are for Naruto. Anko then had to run for her life as Kurenai began to chase her with a kunai and a red face of embarrassment. Naruto's ROOM lemon. Naruto appeared in his room and tossed Taiya on his bed. Taiya had a smirk on her face. She was going to get that Uzumaki dick first. Naruto kicked his sandals off followed by Taiya and he then made his way on top of her. They then began to have an intense make-out session with pure lust and hunger for the other. It had been so long since Naruto had last been in that tight pussy of hers. It had also been a while since Taiya had received that massive meat stick from Naruto. She needed it now. They fought for dominance with their tongues and Naruto came out on top. Naruto used his tongue to explore every part of Taiya's mouth. He used his left hand to run it up and down her body, getting slight moans from the redhead. Naruto's hand found her right breast and he began to massage it roughly, just like she liked it. Her breast had grown from the small B-cup breast to a nice C-cup. Taiya moaned into the kiss. It had been so long since she had felt those muscular hands of his. He would pinch and pull her nipple at the right angles that just made her go crazy. However, she was not one for the foreplay and just wanted to get right to the final act. Just give me that dick. Naruto-kun. Naruto smirked at hearing the girl's demand. He knew she would fold eventually. Naruto wagged his finger. Not this time, I want to taste you once again. Naruto flipped her to her stomach and pulled her ass into the air. He could see the holy grail once again. Her pussy was dripping wet and looked so inviting. He would accept the invitation. Naruto spread Taiya's ass cheek so he could have better access. Taiya wiggled her ass in the air for Naruto. He smacked her ass cheek hard enough to leave a handprint. Taiya let out a moan in pleasure and only seemed to get more aroused if her dripping folds were anything to go by. Naruto gently blew on her pussy making Taiya shiver from the sudden cold air. Naruto then began to lick and suck on her pussy. Taiya let out moans and howls of pleasure from the feeling she was getting. She would often play with the other women of the group but they could never do what Naruto did. Oh my god. You always know my spots. Naruto pulled his face back that had Taiya's love juice all on his face. He licked it off and smirked. Damn right I do. He gave her ass another smack before diving back in. He attacked her clit with his tongue and fingers. He slurped on her pussy from the back and gave her ass more hard smacks. Taya had a hand on Naruto's head, pushing him deeper in and forcing him to keep going. Fuck. I am about to cum. Her pussy clenched to impossible levels around his tongue. But that did not stop Naruto. He began to eat her out with vigor. Cum for me, baby. Naruto stuck his thumb into her ass while still eating her out. This pushed Taya over the edge. Oh, fuck. She let out a scream that made her curl her toes and grab the sheets. Naruto took in all her juices and swallowed them with a gulp. Just like I remember. He then saw her asshole that seemed to be begging for him. He smirked while Taya was panting and coming down from her climax. Naruto rubbed some of Taya's juices on her asshole, making the redhead turn her head back to stare at Naruto with wide eyes. What are you doing? What does it look like? Naruto then spit on her asshole and shoved his tongue deep into her forbidden fruit. Taya's eyes went up to the back of her head. This was a new feeling to her and it felt good. Naruto then began to lick around her anus and shove his tongue in and out of her asshole. It would clamp down on his tongue, sometimes making it hard for him to remove his tongue. Taya was seeing stars at this point. Naruto was eating her ass like some ramen, and she loved it. She never knew this was something she would enjoy so much. Eat that ass, Naruto. Her ass jiggled from the smack Naruto gave her ass. Naruto tongued her asshole with all his might, there wasn't a part of her crack his tongue hadn't been. Naruto's face was squished between the juicy ass cheeks of Taya Uzumaki. Damn, and Naruto. Taya was coming close to another orgasm if the kicking feet and her white knuckles from gripping the sheet so tight was anything to go by. I am coming. Taya let out a loud moan mixed with a scream of pleasure. Her head then fell limp on the pillow. Her ass was still in the air ready to be fucked, just like Naruto liked it. Naruto, seeing the state he left her in, smirked. He was just getting started and would not be done until later afternoon. Naruto gave her nice round juicy ass another smack, making her cheeks jiggle in a hypnotic motion. He took off his pants and shirt and tossed them on the floor where his cloak was laying. His underwear dropped down to the floor, leaving him as naked as the day he was born. His dick that was at full attention stood proud. The veins were pulsing, and it would often twitch and jump. His full balls that hang under were also ready and full of baby-making batter. Naruto grabbed her hips and lined himself up with her pussy. Taya looked back at him with a sexy smirk. It's about time. Naruto smirked back. He leaned down and gave her a passionate kiss on the lips. Naruto, without warning, shoved his dick balls deep inside of Taya, who let out a scream of pleasure at the unexpected action. Why you fucking. She wasn't able to finish due to Naruto ramming back into her from the back. He began to find a rhythm and began to give hard and long strokes. He was thrusting like a wild animal with his hips a blur and only the sound of his hips making contact with her juicy ass, making her cheeks ripple with each thrust he delivered. Oh fuck, why you are going so hard? She began to throw her ass back, matching his thrust. Hell yeah, I am. Throw that ass back. Naruto watched as Taya threw her ass back with the same intensity as he had. Naruto was moaning in pleasure from the tightness of her pussy. He had forgotten how her pussy would clamp down on him like a vice. Naruto held his head up in pleasure, he was about to tear that ass up now. I hope you don't have plans tomorrow, because you are not walking out of here. Naruto then grabbed her hips and began to tear into her ass like a beast. Wait, I have a mission tomorrow. Taya said in between moans and cries. The fucking bad. Naruto then grabbed her long red hair and began to thrust even harder. His dick was reshaping her already tight pussy to fit his cock only. Taya's tongue began to fall from her mouth and she was drooling. Oh, why yes. Taya shouted with stars in her eyes. If she was seeing stars earlier, she was now seeing the universe. Who's your daddy? Naruto smacks her ass hard, making Taya yelp. Why you? Naruto smacked her ass again. Who? You daddy. Naruto smirked and pushed her onto her stomach, putting her in a prone position and began to slam his hips down on her ass. Fuck, why you're being so rough. But you like that, don't you? Naruto pulled her hair some more, making her head tilt up and her tongue to hang out the side of her lip. Why yes daddy. Naruto began to reach her womb and pierced it, making Taya to go cross-eyed and mine to go blank. HS so deep, I can't even think straight. Naruto grunted and closed his eyes. He was getting close. I am about to cum, where do you want it? Taya's mind rebooted. She turns her head, letting Naruto see her slutty face. Inside. Cum inside. Naruto then picked up speed and put his chest on her back and gave her hard and fast thrust. His balls clenched and he let out a loud moan and shot his white ropes deep inside her pussy. Taya was now omnipotent. She could feel Naruto filling her up and only smiled goofily. She had a fuck silly face and then passed out from pleasure. Naruto pulled his still cooming cock from her completely filled pussy. He saw that she had fallen asleep and would let her rest. He then felt something and smirked. "Kasumi-chan, will you take her place?" A second later the orange-haired woman came from his seal naked and pushed him on the bed back first. "Oh, so you are going to ride this dick you love so much?" Naruto had an amused face. Kasumi also had amusement on her face, also mixed with lust. She was waiting for her turn to have some of that dick from her mate. All the way home. She then hovered over his still hard cock and slammed down, making them both moan in pleasure. The room was then filled with the sounds of moaning and grunts from Naruto, Kasumi and the awoken Taiya. They had animalistic sex for half the afternoon and the night. Next, day lemon over. Naruto had awoken to Taiya on his right with a silly grin on her face. He rolled over and saw Kasumi with a satisfied look on her face. Naruto got up from the bed as quietly as he could, but due to Kasumi having enhanced hearing it was for naught. "Morning already?" Kasumi opened her slitted red eyes. She sat up revealing her huge breast to the world. Naruto turned and smiled at them. "I should have known I couldn't sneak away from you." Naruto walked back over and gave her a kiss. "Did you sleep well?" He already knew the answer, but he wanted to hear her say it. That goofy smile came on her face. "Yes I did and I must say, you were like an animal last night." She got a dazed look in her eyes when she remembered the shadow clones. A shiver of pleasure ran down her spine and she began to get a little wet thinking about it. Naruto saw where this was going, smack her breast making her moan. Stop. You know they are sensitive." She covered herself. "Oh I know, if the way you were screaming last night was anything." Naruto chuckled remembering how she was screaming his name. "Boy can you two shut up." Taiya said grumpily. She was not a morning person. "Oh good morning sweet cheeks." Naruto leaned down and gave the red-head a deep kiss. Taiya smiled. She missed this. "Shithead, I told you that I have a mission today. I can't even feel my legs." Taiya dropped her smile and gave him a slight glare. "Well I was only pleasing my goddess." Naruto tried to charm his way out of this. Kasumi snorted. "Yeah right, you were completely." She shuddered and got a little wet. "Dominating last night." Both the girls blushed while Naruto smirked. He then pushed them both on the bed. "But you girls like it that way don't you?" He gave them light kisses followed by licks. The girls moaned a slight bit. They had to resist this man. "No, Naruto-kun. I can't go on my damn mission thanks to you, and if we have sex now I will definitely be in a coma." Taiya pushed him off her and turned over and pulled the covers over her. Naruto smirked. He yanked the cover off her, revealing her naked form. He slapped her juicy ass that rippled. "Well if you have nothing to do today." He got over her and whispered in her ear. "Why don't I please my goddess some more?" A small part of Taiya just wanted to say fuck the mission and have some sex that she missed with her man so much. But she couldn't even though she wanted to. "Why you fucking better not. I need to rest." Naruto got up, but not before giving her butt another smack. "Fine, you can rest for now, I need to shower anyways." "Count me out." Kasumi said and tried to leave. But was stopped when Naruto grabbed her tails. "No, you smell like sex and need a bath." He pulled her tails to bring her towards him. "No." She transformed into her small fox form and began to run away, but Naruto grabbed her before she went through the doggy door in their room just for her. "Let me go Naruto. I hate those baths." "You need it." Naruto was fighting a small fox in nothing but his underwear. It was a pretty funny sight for Taiya who was rolling, laughing and taking pictures. Later. After Naruto had subdued Kasumi and made her take a bath. He was able to put on some clothes and left a cursing Taiya in the room. She was angry at him for making her cancel her mission today. It was nothing, a few kisses and promises couldn't stop though. He had eaten the delicious breakfast of tsunami that he had missed so much. It had been years since he ate her tasty food. He thanked her with a nice long kiss that made her a little horny and wanting more. Naruto had seen Rukia in the red and white training GI working on her sword movements. He went outside and just watched her with a proud smile on his face. She was indeed good and he could see that. He would give her little tips in order to help her with what she was doing. Naruto wanted to spar with her, but he would let her advance a little more before they got to that part. He then just walked around the village taking in the sights once again. The village hadn't changed much except putting his mom's face on the monument and a couple new shops. That then brought up a good idea in his mind. He would use one of his favorite pastimes. Annoy the hell out of someone. He then smirked and left in a blue flash. He appeared back on the window of the Hokage's office without making a sound. The window was open, making him laugh inside his head. He saw his mother hard at work with the shadow clones. He could see the paperwork making a pile on her desk. It would be a shame if it all went out the window. He then used his mastery over the wind element to blow all the papers out the window. "Nu. Come back." Tsunade tried to grab the papers that were flying away. She made it to the window and cursed. "Damn this wind." She slammed the window shut. Naruto was on top laughing his ass off. He went back to the window using his cloaking jutsu he had learned from Jiraiya. Things do not stop here. Naruto used his chakra to make wind appear inside the office and blow all her paper away. Tsunade got a tick mark on her head and smashed her desk. "Damn it. Turn the AC off." Her assistant went to go and turn it off before Tsunade started to punch things. Tsunade then sat down in her chair and waited for her new desk to come. Naruto then had to get a little more creative. He then sawed. Tsunade reached for the floorboard and lifted it, which revealed her secret sake collection. He knew if he was found out it would be the end of him, but he had to. Right when he was going to destroy the bottle, a puff of smoke appeared on his shoulder, revealing a sandy cream-colored thunderbird. He looked to see if anyone noticed him, but the coast was clear. He went to the roof to speak with his summon in private. "What's up, Rina?" "That group is making its way towards the sand and will be there soon," Rina said in a female voice that sounded like that of a mother's. Naruto unsealed some fish for Rina as a reward. "Thank you, Rina, you can go home now." He rubbed her head affectionately, making the bird sigh. "You should come by, the chicks want to see you. Along with Hiro-sama." Naruto smiled and nodded. He had been to their summon world a couple of times. It helped that he could fly and his body could handle the stormy weather. "Just let me know and I will be there." Rina nodded and left in a puff of smoke. Naruto's face became serious and his chakra spiked for a second. "So it seems that they finally want to move. They think they can come after my siblings and get away with it. Not on God's beautiful big earth." He then went down and opened Tsunade's window. She was about to yell at him and hit the blonde over the head. However, she stopped when she saw the serious face he had on. When Naruto was serious, it normally meant someone was going to die. "What's the problem, Naruto?" He answered without missing a beat. "The Akatsuki are in the sand and trying to get Gaara." Tsunade's eyes widened. This was not good and she guessed that's why Naruto was so serious. "Okay, let me set up a team and you guys can head out." She didn't even need to ask where the information came from. She had full trust in her son. "Anbu." They dropped down and got on one knee. "Get me Kakashi and Sakura now." The Anbu nodded and flashed away to go and complete their mission. Naruto nodded at his mother for the quick action. "I will go get ready and then come back to get those two." He then left in a blue flash to his compound. Uzumaki compound. He appeared inside to see Ino cleaning up. Kin was outside doing some training with Gurin, who had two crystal swords in her hands. "Ino?" he called, getting her attention. Ino turned towards her master. "Yes, Naruto-sama. I will be leaving for the sand for a S-rank mission. I want you to tell everyone for me." Ino wanted to go with him, but if Naruto wanted her to go he would have asked for her. "Okay master, just be safe." She leaned up and gave him a kiss with all her love. Naruto smiled and gave her a hug that she returned. Naruto then walked to his room and saw Taiya still in his bed. She was now watching TV. "Hey shithead, what's got you so serious?" Naruto smiled. It seems his family was able to read him like a book. "I have a S-rank mission to the sand." He went to the corner and took up his blue armor that was on a rack. Taiya whistled. "Let me guess, it is those Red Dawn fuckers." "Yup." Naruto slid on his all-black long sleeve and pulled up his black pants. "They want to get Gaara first and probably seal up the Bidja right away." He tied some white tape on his ankles and put on his black ninja sandals. "Well, make sure you are okay, Snow Bunny will be sad if you die." Taiya glanced at Naruto, who was sliding on his blue armor. The armor then seemed to hum. Naruto had this new armor created with some of Kasumi's chakra, so it was pretty durable and strong. He had seals on the armor to make it even better than the last one. "Alright babe, I'll be going." Naruto walked over and gave Taiya a kiss. He was about to pull away, but she grabbed him by his head, pulling him towards her. "Come back safe. Naruto-kun," Taiya said in a soft tone. She didn't speak like this often, but because it was Naruto and they were alone she would do it once. Naruto smiled warmly at the redhead. "You know, you almost sound like a loving wife when you talk like that. You should do it more often." Taiya scowled. He just had to ruin the moment. "Never, you shithead. I don't know why you even try to act so tough all the time. Everyone knows you are a big softie." Naruto had to run out the room when she pulled out weapons and started to throw them at him. Naruto went back outside and was about to flash away when he heard his name. "Dad." Naruto turned and saw Rukia running up to him. "Hey honey, what is it? Are you leaving already?" She wanted him to train with her. She wanted him in the village even though she wouldn't say it to his face. "Yes, but I would be back as soon as possible." He rubbed her hair, messing it up. She batted his hand away and gave him a glare. I'm not a kid so don't do that. Naruto only chuckled. What rank is your mission? S rank. What? Why? It's that group I told you about, they are trying to get Gaara. So I have to go and help him. Rukia wrapped her arms around him in a hug. Naruto was still taller than her, so he got on a knee and returned her hug. Be safe. Dad. Come on, no one can take down your awesome dad. The hug got tighter and not in a good way. Shiryuki says you are an idiot. And I agree with her. Naruto deflated. Don't listen to that stupid witch. She says you are a brute. Well, tell her to come and say it to my face. Naruto got up and walked to the door. I will be back before you know it. He then left in a blue flash. Hokage office. Naruto appeared in a flash. He looked and saw Kakashi and Sakura were also there and ready. Okay, I will take us there and we can think of a plan while we wait. Naruto walked up to them. Be safe you guys. Tsunade said, looking at them but mostly Naruto. Don't even sweat it. They are not even going to know what hit them. He sent her one more smirk before disappearing in a blue flash to the sand. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the story, then hit the like button and comment your favorite part, but for now see you all in the next video.